Hello everyone, welcome to ALR Bronze, and of course we're here in the Brazilian Grand Prix as well. I hope you liked my little posh accent before we got going then. I am in a shirt tonight then, of course, as I think it's just having a celebration coronation kind of thing, and is celebration coronation the same thing? No, I don't know, to be honest. I'm going to have to look that up afterwards. Anyway, enough of this shenanigans. It is time for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And I've just taken a look then. I think we've got full gridders. Absolutely spectacular stuff it is indeed. I'm just waiting for the stream to load up, as it's taken a very long time to get going, isn't it? Which is good stuff, isn't it? Right then, let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors, shall we? Before we do, actually, we got 15 turns around this circuit. Looks very condensed and very simple, but it's anything but, isn't it? It's old school, it's bumpy. You got to just make sure that you've got to make sure that you've got enough downforce for the middle part of the course then, and the course sector 1 and 3. It's all about power and flying up that hill as well. Goodness me, it's a steep old incline, isn't it? A lovely stuff. Right, let's take a look at the drivers and the constructors, shall we then? And I think it's the first time actually the bronze is racing here tonight as well. So there's no lap record to look back on from last year. 4.3 kilometers along this circle is 2.677 miles. In the Drivers' Championship, then Velocity is the world champion, and that is it. No one can take it away from him. He has won the championship. And sorry, I got distracted then because my sister's trying to mess with me about Christmas presents. I'm going to have to tell her to go away in a minute. So Velocity has won the world championship. Fantastic stuff. And Energetics is second, and I think he's also confirmed second as well. So congratulations to Energetics for being runner-up. The battle, though, is for second, for third and fourth, I should say. Then Newman is 2 points in front of Nunda. That is the final promotion spot up to silver. This is going to get very good indeed. Then Mike, unfortunately, is no longer going to be able to get into the. Well, he does have an outside chance. He's 36 points back at this moment in time, but he's got to have an amazing end to the season, doesn't he? Sean Hammer's in 6th position. He's been fantastic, hasn't he? Curly Red 7th, Ayrton 8th, Rempo in 9th, and Bradfield in 10th position. Roscoe in the last couple of races or so has been absolutely magnificent. He's gone up 3 positions then. Diasio moving up a position as well. Camera Racer and Frank dropping down 2 positions then, and Cummings then also moving up from the bottom of the standings to 17th, and good 17th there for Cummings, and I'm wondering if he'll be able to climb up further in the championship today. Then he definitely has the pace, doesn't he? In the constructor standings, and we've also been wrapped up as well for the Williams team as well, 185 points in front of McLaren, and they have got 500 points so far. They are brilliant, aren't they? They're absolutely fantastic. They really are indeed. Then we've got McLaren in second position. Then McLaren are almost out of reach from Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo have got two subs in there tonight, haven't they? As well as gosh, I need I'm going to have to block my sister, and she keeps appearing on my phone screen, which is where I'm watching the stream and get all the comments from, and she keeps getting in the way. Then there we go. We got Alfa Romeo in 3rd position, and AlphaTauri is in 4th position, and Renault are 19 points back from AlphaTauri. They are 5th position. Ferrari have dropped down to 6th position. Haas is 7th, and Racing Point is 8th, and Mercedes in 9th, and Red Bull are in 10th position. And that is the constructors, and that is the drivers done as well. And so job done. I think I can go home now. Let's take a look at the comments, shall we? As you can see, there's a flurry of activity in the pit lane, as everyone really is keen on getting up there. Hopefully, you don't have any issues like we did last night. And I've got to say, hats off to both Farf and Dad there for getting the show on the road last night. Really good 17, and we had a first time winner as well, and that was in the form of Gamer. What a performance there from Gamer. Brilliant 17 there, of course. He was magnificent, wasn't he, last night? Gordo, hello. We've also got Wilson. Hey, evening, guys. Ayrton, hello, Sean. Hopefully, whoops, I almost blocked Ayrton then. Hello, Sean. Hopefully, I can get a point in my second home Grand Prix. Dave Cummings, hey, mate. Hello, Dave. We got Theo as well. Hello, Theo. We got Nuno as well. Let's have some fun then. Well, final promotion spot. I can't have fun. As Cummings saying, sunny race start, wet at the end of the race. Oh my goodness me! I love it when it gets a bit wet out there. Great stuff indeed. Then it's just taking a look to see where Nunda is. And so Nunda is out on circuit around the moment at the Williams. We've got Energetics, who is not in the car tonight. Oh, Nunda's got a new helmet as well. Lovely stuff indeed then. And you can see then he's got a beautiful purple helmet there. Lovely stuff for I really like that helmet design, don't I? Because it's very similar to Sebastian Vettel's helmet, and I think Diashi's got my favourite helmet of all time so far this season. Well, him and Ayrton, I think, are my two favourite helmet designs. I love both of them. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Energetic said, hey, Annie, listening to you on my bus and great stuff indeed there. I'll make sure that I tone it down when you when you stop and pick up your passengers and stuff like that. Do you drive a double or a single decker? I used to get very excited, actually, with the double deckers. That was one job I would love to find with a bus driver. I really used to love it when I was younger. So Nude is going to start us up now, and here he goes into the centre S. I think they're in the Old Forest scene now. I got really excited when they used to have the gold bus there. Oh goodness me! Then the seats were absolutely magnificent. I absolutely loved it. It was felt like a gaming chair to me then. Diashi, hello lads at Noonda saying hope you don't score any point. I hope you don't score points at Noonda as well. As of course, then as a Newman is not in this race tonight, is he? So a Noonda potentially could really cement that third position in the Drivers' Championship. And I think he deserves it, doesn't he, Nunez? He's been absolutely magnificent all season long. He's been one of my drivers of the season for sure. Diashi has left the session, and I thought there's a bit of a problem there. So Diashi has left the session. He's another driver that has really caught the attention, has he? In the last umpteen races or so, he's been brilliant, hasn't he? Nunda coming out of Juncal then and accelerating up to the end. It's quite a busy old circuit this one is, isn't it? As we've already mentioned, it's only 2.6 miles long then. It's quite condensed, isn't it, here in Brazil? Two DR zones around here. One is where Nunda is showing it right now. Up the start finish straight. He's gone faster so far. Lovely jubbly. And so we're just watching Velocity, who's gone faster still in Velocity at the moment. And as he was champion back in Mexico, wasn't he? Brilliant stuff indeed there from Velocity. He's doing celebratory donuts, and why shouldn't he then? Of course, and these donuts there is very much about when he won in Mexico as well. Unfortunately, you don't get the option to do a donut, do you, when you win the race in Mexico? So I think that it's a great opportunity there for Velocity there, just to have a bit of fun then. He's gone fastest, and he's just also done some donuts as well then. So yeah, Velocity then has been absolutely brilliant stuff this season. Must doing some donuts as we got Camaro second, then Rempo's in fourth position, Cummings fifth, Ayrton in sixth, Bradfield seventh, and Mike is in eighth position. He's on medium tires then. Velocity has had 4 Grand Prix wins this season. He's had 3 pole positions as well. This is the stat though that really, I think, that's got him the championship, and he even believes so as well. That is 14 podium finishes as well for Velocity. Absolutely impressive stuff indeed there. 3 fastest laps and no DNFs there for Velocity. Brilliant. And he's had 3 drivers today as well. Then absolutely great stuff. And he's on a 308 points then for Velocity. And no DNFs as well. That is absolutely incredible, isn't it, for Velocity? And I really hope you enjoyed that, because we certainly did as well. It's great, wasn't it? And as I just I will lean over as well then. Serious question. Evening all. Good evening, Serious. Energetic saying driving the Hullers. It's a harmonica bus, and we have a Seta bus in as well. I'm gonna be honest, my good man, I have no idea what they are. I'm gonna have to Google them, I think, in a minute. And, I gotta say, I'm quite a simpleton. All I know is that there's a single decker and a double decker. That's the kind of buses I go on. We've also got the Ashton. Am I allowed to join again, Sean? I've just logged out. Yeah, join back in. So, by the way, if anyone says anything, I did not say that. Roscoe's gone 10th fast at the moment. Fran and he's 8th fast at the moment. Cummings is 7th at the moment. Good 17. Sean Hammers is up into 5th position. Whilst I've been waffling away, Curly Red has just gone up into 4th fastest in the racing point as well. The benchmarker is Cameron Racer. He's been brilliant, I think, since Singapore. He's really turned over a new leaf, hasn't he? Kind of, so to speak. He showed his prowess. So in Australia, didn't he? He just never seemed to live up to expectations this season, but my goodness me, since Singapore he's a transformed driver. He's absolutely amazing stuff, isn't he? As Nuno saying, he was blocking me. Nuno saying that Smith got in his way. Then when he was on a quick lap, he was on board there. Unfortunately, I think Smith was just trying to get some warm for the tyres there. So Nunda, but at the moment that might not affect Nunda too much. At the moment, he is third fast at the moment. Is that going to be enough to get him through? Possibly. I would say probably not. The track illusion earlier is quite steep, almost as steep as the Centre S, isn't it? 8 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Remember last time we only had one qualifying in the end, then after we had all kinds of fun, didn't we, with the lobbies, and we had short quality for the first time in ALR history, if I'm not very much mistaken. Started back to the traditional format, 3 qualifying 1, 2 and 3 to watching Sloth in car 32 then, as he is climbing up the hill as well. Lovely over the shoulder shot as well, brilliant stuff then. from the Ferrari driver. And of course, Sloth did cross the line in his first Grand Prix version of Esports. Mega stuff indeed. That looking got the win in Russia, but it was very hard done by Sloth. Very impressive debut nonetheless, wasn't it? And he's just coming out of the horseshoe as well before going down to Megulio, before into Cow as well. I can't even say some of these Portuguese names. I really struggle. I think that it is Portuguese, isn't it? Brazil do speak the Portuguese language, if I'm not very much mistaken, which I probably am. But there you go then. Just on board now. Of course, yes, as Sloth goes into fifth fast mode in the Ferrari. Brilliant 17 there. Of course, we are in December, and I can't believe we've still got one more race to go before we're not. Of course, that's in Abu Dhabi in a week's time, of course. And it's the same for ALR as well. We are also in Abu Dhabi to finish off the season as well. Almost all the championships have been collected, haven't they? Apart from Gurman. How unlucky was Gurman last night? He was one more lap away from being crowned the silver world champion. And there was another twist in the tail, was there? Gurman's been very unlucky as of late, hasn't he, in silver? He's had a lot of bad luck, hasn't he, since the Russian Grand Prix. He had a great race, though, didn't he, in Mexico, and really got himself into a good position. Unfortunately, though, last night, just at this part of the course here, he had a puncture, didn't he, on those hard tyres, and that cost him the driver championship. So it's going down to the wire in silver. It's Murphy, it's Gurman, and who is going to, and of course, who is going to be crowned the silver champion. I'm looking forward to that one. Remember, it's far apart from last season, because last season the silver championship was won at round 15 in the Spanish Grand Prix, wasn't it, by Glock? Well, this season it's very much going down to the wire, but Gurman's incredible mid-season dominance has really catapulted him where he needs to be. He's always had the speed, hasn't he, in qualifying. The races, he did take a couple of races to get into it, but then he was a magnificent mistake. And that is what the story is for silver. Next week, Steve goes second fast. I think Steve's been very lucky since joining bronze, hasn't he? He's got the pace, hasn't he? Can he just get it all together then? Velocity has gone fast as he's done an 0.72 and only looked to get his full pole position tonight then. Whatever happens here tonight though, it will be Energetics who has the golden wheel, doesn't he? Because he is going to be the highest pole sitter this season. It's a good 17 there from Energetics, and he's been absolutely magnificent this season. Brilliant. We've just got we're just having a look over then as well. Yes, I've got lost in my comments, haven't I? There. Serious Russian there, Stuffing. Good luck, all. Good luck, Bronze there. It's Christmas there as well. Nuda saying thank you. Nuda saying, oh, sure, my helmet. You missed it. I think I had a good old nose. I think just a minute ago. You got a purple helmet, haven't you? If I'm not very much mistaken. Yeah, I think we was on board with you, Nuda. I do love it. It's a lovely purple helmet as well, and of course that's one of my favourite designs on Formula 1 this season. It's very much a Sebastianetta kind of helmet, isn't it? Good stuff. Wilson saying good luck, Nuda, Rembo, Bradfield, and everyone else, I suppose. Good stuff. Nuda saying thanks for mentioning my name. Emerson saying good luck, Ayrton. That name belongs in Brazil. As Velocity has been disqualified there. Oh dear, then so Velocity then, who was fast, but I think that he's too much donuts there for the Brazilian authorities like it, and he is now in the he's now finished for qualifying. He's 20th on the grid then. Rembo is fastest at the moment. Good 17 there from Rembo, as she is just inched in front of Steelen as she is fast on the Ayrton then, of course, yes, this is his second home Grand Prix tonight for Ayrton, and so of course we're going to be keeping a good eye on Ayrton, haven't we? See if he has got any extra performance. Mike on the medium tires, but then Mike has got an outside chance again, promotion into silver. It is only an outside chance at the moment, though, isn't it, for Mike? As he needs something major to happen to Nunda. His teammate is not here tonight, then, and potentially that is good. That could catapult Nunda into silver. I think Nunda deserves it, but so does Newman as well. So really, I'm going to be sitting on the fence here because, of course, Nunda has two. He has one Grand Prix win this season, two pole positions there. Newman has four Grand Prix wins, saying two pole positions as well. 5 10 second down. Mike is in the second split time. We're coming into the final 5 minutes of this qualifying session as well then. And look at him powering up so long now. I think Mike is just doing a couple of race runs in the McLaren, isn't he? As he is just trying to see what the McLaren can do on the medium tyres. Right, he's currently 15th at the moment, and he is still in qualifying at this moment in time. And of course, it's the bottom 5 cars we lose. And at the moment, we've got the 2 Alphas out, and we've got Diashi also as well, and the RD Weed, and his Red Bull's retired from this session. It's a bit of a slam dunk there, isn't it, for Red Bull? A bit of a slam dunk there for Rambo, isn't it? Or like a bit of a home run, isn't it? Where you kind of dunk the basketball and then like, yeah. So Rambo then is got fast and then she's back in the garage then. But having said that, Bradfield is really stolen her thunder in this qualifying one session because he's gone faster by less, or just over 10th of a second actually. Good 17th there from Bradfield. Brilliant. Bradfield he seems to be a very good qualifier and a poor race, or opposite way around. So hopefully we can get it all lined up here tonight. And here comes Ballot then as well. Then we haven't seen Ballot actually for the last couple of races, so it's good to see him back in the cockpit as well. Of course, he made his debut, I think, in Singapore, if I'm not very much mistaken. He's in the McLaren at the moment, and he is safely through into qualifying too. Oh goodness me, though, he got on the power a bit too much there. Ballot did, and unfortunately, that has not helped him at all, has it? So yeah, he's down in. Mike's just improved actually to 14th thing. It's very close between the two McLarens, albeit they're on a step difference of tyres as well. I'm just taking a look and see where Diashi is on the circuit. Oh, he's come back in the pits, Diashi, so I'm sure he was out there. Ayrton also coming into the pits as well. By the way, I don't really need to say it really, because drivers have got a lot more, they've got much more brain cells than I ever would love to have. But I crashed into that pit entry not too long ago then, so in qualified. I would say keep careful, be careful out there, but only I can really find that barrier. Goodness me, that was quite embarrassing. Like then he's just back out as well. Ballot unfortunately made a mistake there going, I think it was just coming out the horseshoe, wasn't it? Unfortunately for Ballot there, he's invalidated, that hasn't helped his time at all. Then we're on board with him as he is just going through the second part of the course as well, then up into turn 7 then. Nunda saying without the purple, black, yellow and red, I'll show you. And as Serious Merchants asked, where's that Volcano guy? I don't think Volcano's in here tonight by the looks of it. Of course, ALR does choose the reserves there by, no, I wouldn't say first come, first serve, but it's also kind of if we do like to spread the love, so to speak. We've got a couple of reserves here tonight. We're on board with one of them. We're in this Ballot then at Boat, who is less than a 10th of a second up on the first part, and I'm glad Cummings has taken notice, because I certainly hadn't, because unfortunately Volcano must have been kicked into 21 drivers there. Ballot goes into 14 fast and displaces his teammate by less than a 10th of a second. Both McLarens are on an almighty battle royale there at the moment. Having said that, Mike is now cruising back to the pits there. He has got not enough fuel then. Here comes Fran then. Fran is currently 10th of a second up in the first sector time then in the Mercedes, and as he is now powering up the hill as well. Let's go on board with the Mercedes driver, shall we? And of course, I think that for once then, when the Mercedes was actually one of the favourites, one of the favourite drivers on there Sunday, wasn't it? Of course, with George Russell driving. I am a big Hamilton fanboy, but he does seem to have a lot of people that dislike him, doesn't he? Which is unfortunate, but there you go. Just watching Fran there come into a horseshoe as well. That's where, and had a couple of issues in McLaren a couple of moments ago then. Fran there coming down the dive at 7/10 of a second down the second split then Fran is. So Fran not looking, this lap is not looking too good. I wonder if he might abandon and come back in the pits then. Roscoe's done 6 laps on these tyres and so Roscoe is going for a race run by the looks then. Good 7D. We've also got Smithy also out on circuit drive. We've also got Artie Wee who has emerged out of the pits as well. What about Nunda then? Nunda coming up to the line. This is a much clearer lap from Nunda and inches and has got slightly quicker at less than a 10th of a second. He is in at 5th position and he is going to be the lead Williams there. Of course, Williams have wrapped up the drivers on the constructors, haven't they? They're basically our Mercedes, our version of Mercedes this season, aren't they? Goodness me, there. And so we've also got Serious Merchant there. Shane Gooner needed someone to race it. Dave Cummings is saying he is not a Lewis Hamilton fan there. And I got to say that he is he's a bit like Marmite, isn't it, really? Whether you love him or you hate him kind of thing, don't you? Of course, I love him. To be honest, I think that ever since seeing him, watching him, I think it was GP2 was when I first seen Lewis Hamilton. I think I was randomly watching the Turkish Grand Prix. I think it was in Hamilton got spun around right at the beginning, I think, and then since then I was like, oh my god, it's amazing. That's where my love for him grew, for Hamilton. Absolutely lovely stuff. Serious Merchant saying that he knows that Lewis is a Mushroom fan. Then that's probably why Hamilton didn't race actually on Sunday, because I think he wanted to just check out Mushroom. Unfortunately, I don't think Mushroom raced on Sunday, did he? So Hamilton might have got the wrong days, then perhaps. Watching Artie Weed, and he is on a lap at the moment. He's 19th on the grid there, with less than a minute to go. He's overspun it there, and there's a car in front of us who's off as well. And it's Gooner. So Artie Weed has damaged the car and he ain't going to get a time in. We're on board with Diash then. There's a lot of cars in Diash's way here. And a man got out from the tour because it looks like he was wrong-footed then. And that's not good at all. As we're on board now then with Diash. He's done a 52 to Young Carl then as he accelerates out. Can he use RDW slipstream then to give him an extra bit of a motivation there coming up that hill then. As we're on board Diash. Yeah, that's a lovely help. Diash, absolutely lovely. As Diash comes across the line, he's only 17th fastest Diash he is then. And I feel he might be a bit disappointed, but his teammate Rempo is right into the atmosphere, so to speak. She's in the southern hemisphere, isn't she? As she is currently second one, and Bradfield is the fastest car out there at the moment. Looking very good, isn't it? I'm really enjoying this qualifying session at the moment. It's really mixing up the grid, isn't it? Gunnar, then we're on board of Gunnar. He is outside looking in of qualifying two. Then can Gunnar find that extra 3/10 of a second as well? He's found a couple. Cummings has gone into second fastest in the Red Bull. Good stuff indeed there for Cummings. Can Cummings get a Red Bull off the bottom of the constructors? Then that's going to be Cummings' aim then. It's also going to be Camera Racer's aim as well, surely, as Red Bull don't deserve to be down there in my opinion. And just on board then, so coming into horseshoes. Gunnar, oh goodness me, got wrong foot. I think there was no might crash there, was there? No, if I'm not much mistaken. I know Zonta had a big old smash as well. Look, as RDW there is using his lawnmowing skills there to cut across the grass then. What about Diashi? Second by the chair then. Lovely shot here then. This is a better time. It's a much better time for Diashi. He is through in the qualifying free. Mike is now on the fringes of the qualifying free, isn't he? Two at the moment. And so is his teammate Billet as well. But Billet is invalidated his time. He is done then. Gunnar then is also had issues, hasn't he? So is Smith as well. So it's between the two McLarens and Mike is 2/10 of a second up in the second split. The first split I should say. On board as well then as we fly down the hill and coming up to Juncker as well. Half a second up in the second split. That is enough, and Mike just needs to get over the line then. He could almost get out and push it home. Of course I'm joking about that. Of course there's a big old hill there. Goodness me then. I don't think even the strongest of the strong can get that car up the hill. It's very steep indeed, isn't it? And Mike goes full fast then. He is through in the qualifying free. Unfortunately Billet though is out of qualifying, and unluckily for Billet, as unluckily for Billet then he as he comes back into the pits now as well then. So that's unfortunate there for Billet, isn't it? But he is out of qualifying now. He's less than 10 per second then. Diashi is left position, and I had a bit of a funny thing happen to me screen as well just then. So now they're just being wheeled back into the garage. So that's the end of qualifying one, ladies and gentlemen. Then that was quite a good one, wasn't it? Bradfield ends qualifying one, fastest so far. Brilliant stuff indeed. He's 400 of a second in front of Cummings in second position there. Third position there is Red Bull. Red Bull set that about halfway through qualifying at one there. Good 17 there. Velocity was the benchmark there, but he got disqualified there for celebrating and having too many donuts, so to speak. I hope they were jam. Velocity then is out qualifying along with Billet, Gunnar, Smithy, RDW and Velocity as well. So those are 5 cars out qualifying one as we get ready for qualifying 2 in just a jiffy as well. Diashi there might be a bit frustrated then. He's just gone so that's a bit disappointing then. Right then, so now let's just take a visual confirmation of who's out there. So Velocity disqualified from the session then. RDW is 19th. Then we've got all Alfa Romeo, row 9 then of Smith Almighty, 18th for Gunnar, 17th, Billet in 16th position as well. About a 10th of a second then behind Ayrton, who is through into qualifying for 2 then. Good stuff indeed there for Ayrton on his second home track then. He might be a bit disappointed by the speed at the moment there from that Mercedes then, as he was the last man in the 8s and everyone else is in the 7s or higher then. So at the top of the standing, at the top of the qualifying one classification, it is Bradfield who is fastest by 38 hundredths of a second there from Cummings in second position there. Good performance there for Cummings. Both Red Bulls in the top 6. Good stuff indeed then as you go into qualifying 2. Right, as now we're getting ready to go into qualifying 2, and here we go then. So then, as I think I'm just having a bit of a chat in the a bit of a natter in the comments there, aren't we? As Velocity has joined the spectators, hasn't he? So good stuff indeed there for Velocity. We've also got Vintage saying good evening, everyone. Good luck, everyone, as well. Then, as hopefully Velocity will have. Didn't see much of the race last night, as by the time we joined it, it was all gone in the wrong direction. It all went Pete Tong there, didn't it? And oh gosh, then let me just get rid of my sister again. Then I think I wish you could have like an out of office kind of message on Messenger in it, really, where you say do not disturb or something. But there you go. Perhaps there is one that I just don't know it. Then all these contraptions and this technology these days just blows my little ginger head, doesn't it? All right, out of the pits now. Then comes the two Red Bulls then, and at 14 minutes in this qualifying 2 session. So qualifying 2 then is a bit of a twist, isn't it, from the rest of the session? Because if you get into the top 10, you have to start on the tyres which you set your fastest time on, which at the moment Cummings is on the yellow marked medium tyre, and that is the middle range of the 3 compounded tyres here in Brazil tonight. Red is soft, white is hard then, and we're going to need the wets and intermediates by the sound of it at the end of the race, and I'm really looking forward to that. I love a bit of the wet stuff, and I'm not sure if most of the drivers will be looking forward to that. And of course, we've had a lot of rain affected races in Brazil over the past few years, haven't we? Of course, 93 there was a very unusual race, wasn't it? Because it was a deluge, wasn't it? We've seen a load of drivers just fly off at the centre S then to begin the lap, and it was absolutely incredible. 96 there, Damon Hill, probably one of his stronger races in the wet then. I think it's not his strongest race, it's not his strongest race in the wet though, is it? Because that's the Japanese Grand Prix 94. That's probably Damon Hill's best race of all time as well, in my opinion. Yeah, he had a really good race here in 96 Brazilian Grand Prix there, where it was absolutely bucketed done, wasn't it? I think they caused one of the most incredible races of all time. It's definitely 2003 as a sun there. Right into the eyes there, a camera racer. He's not going to be too concerned about that. He is on the soft tyres as well then. DRS right on the money then. Yeah, just going back to the 2003 Brazilian Grand Prix. Absolutely magnificent, wasn't it? Of course, it was Giancarlo Fisichella's first Grand Prix win, and it was Jordan's last Grand Prix win as well, before they then became the Midland team, then became the Spiker team, and all those other kinds of team names. They had a lot of team names over those couple of years. Between 2006 to 8, and they had like Spiker, Midland, and I think they then ended up with Force India, which of course was Force India right into 2019, wasn't it? Or 18ish. Just watching camera race, and he's not interested about physical, he's not really interested about Jordan's history either. All he's interested about is nailing these apexes, nailing the turns and around Brazil as well. Lovely shot then from car 69. This is the Red Bull racing. They are last in the constructors at the moment then. Can they get themselves out of last? And they don't deserve to be in last this season. They've had a lot of bad luck. Yellow flags in for one of the Haas cars, and it is Red Bull just got off the circuit now. Camera going very wide, coming out of Junkel then. If anyone remembers, there used to be a glitch on the old time trial on one of the, I think it was F1 2011 or 2012. I can't remember when it was, but you used to go very wide out there and just really gain so much time, couldn't you? But as camera racer goes across the line, he is fast at the moment then. What about his teammate Cummings? He is second fast. Cummings is about 0.4 of a second away from Camaro at this moment in time then. So a good 17 there for Cummings. What about Fran? And Fran comes up to the line. So Fran third fastest on the medium tyres. Mike is on the soft this time around then. So Mike is going for the alternative strategy in qualifying right from the get-go. He's used a medium set of tyres already. Now he's on the soft fan. And he perhaps would like the... Oh, there's Bradfield there is parked right in the middle of the circuit. And oh, goodness me, he's in the barrier there. That is really weird there. What happened to Bradfield? I think that he must have reset the track, then appeared right in front of the end. Right in the middle of the centre S there, and just got away then. So I think he sacrificed his front wing there. Good stuff indeed there from Bradfield. He's only fifth fast at the moment. Now, I don't think that's going to be good enough to get him out at the moment. And Steve has gone into third at the moment. He's the quickest of the medium shot runners. Lovely stuff indeed then. Smithy then is just in the middle part of the course as well. Red Bull is just finished in the first sector. Sean Hammers there is decided not to venture out on circuit at the moment. On board with Slothven, and we've also got Curly Red who's in Valdez this time. So we're going to stay with Slothven. Now into the horseshoe. Coming down the dive before going into Cowan. Curly there, parked right in the middle of the circuit there, and I'm wondering if that really threw off a Sloth's breaking point, and I think it possibly did then because Slothven went a bit too deep in Junkel, didn't it? Let's see how that affects the times, and he's done an 8 then so far. He is the second slowest of the times so far for Slothven, so yeah, that might have cost him slightly. Smithy D is gone 9 fastest in the Racing Point moment. Smithy D. He's only had 2 races this season, but he has scored 6 points for the Racing Point team. Good 17 there. What about Nunda then? Nunda then is coming over the line as well. He's on the soft tyres. He goes fast there. He's 2/10 a second in front of Camera Racer. Good performance there from the Williams driver. And Nunda there would love to get his third pole position this season. Remember, his first pole position there was a bit quite controversy, wasn't it, in the Spanish Grand Prix? I thought it was amazing. Really was. And of course, there used to be a qualifying glitch earlier on in the season, then, but I gotta say, I think it's still a brilliant performance anyway. But there you go then. So Smithy D getting a bit too hugging that corner a bit too tight there, isn't it? Goodness gracious me then. So he's going, and he's being unfortunately being given a track invalidation there as well. So Sloth is also coming in the pit as well, as is Fran there, who is also on the grass. Goodness me, I hate to be the groundsman around here. Gosh, there. They're going to have to be doing a lot of work on this part of the course. That's brilliant. So just on board as well. We wouldn't know, Sean, we don't cheat. Laugh out loud, isn't it? And I think that's a response to Nunda's qualifying for it. So I think that at the time, well, I didn't. I think it was the race after I gave Nunda the benefit of the doubt, perhaps. Unfortunately, on my screen, sometimes my time is slightly desynced compared to everyone else, or it's probably just gone a little slower than everyone else, which kind of makes sense, doesn't it, really? As we're on board, a blatant rage. Curly could do no wrong, Sean. That I definitely agree with as well. Of course, Curly, well, at the moment, he hasn't got time on the board then, but if he can come out and get a time in now, then that is definitely not doing anything wrong. They're on board with Noonan as he comes into the pits, and as he's showing off his lovely purple helmet, and as he is now being put on the dolly wheels and going back into the garage as well then. Rembo then also coming in as well then. So we have had 11 cars set a time out there so far. We have had 4 cars who haven't set a time, as we got a Mercedes trundling down the pits. I think that might be Ayrton coming out on track for the first time in his qualifying 2 session then, as the Haas mechanics then just put Rembo back in the garage. And as he's coming out then, just watch it as Mike has just blocked Dave in the pits, so that's not good. Then Diashi is back in the session as well. We have also got Nunda saying, well, I did it in Italy. Yes, that was a great performance in Italy, wasn't it, for Nunda? And of course, Nunda did his own, Nunda was doing the Sergio Perez impression before Sergio Perez was doing it, wasn't he? Nunda was almost last at the end of turn 1 there, wasn't he, on the first lap. He came back through and he won the Italian Grand Prix. It was an absolutely outstanding performance there from Nunda. Maybe my performance of the season, perhaps. I'll have to think about that, but it definitely comes up to mind straight away then. So usually when it comes to my head straight away, then that's just made my mind up, hasn't it? On board Verse, and of course he's got the Ayrton Senna tribute helmet on as well, and I absolutely love it then as well, as he is now coming out of Young Cal then and about to start us up. Of course, Ayrton Senna is synonymous around here. He really is, isn't he? Diashi is joining again now then, and as we're just now coming up over the grid axis as well. So I just did a comment there, which just tickled me. We're just watching out to that coming into the centre as well then. Yellow flag in the middle part of the course then, but I don't think Ayrton's going to be too concerned about that. We're on board there with the man in his second home Grand Prix here tonight and on the first DRS then, as we drop down then into turn 4 as well. Where does he break? Just after the 100-metre board. Incredible stuff, runs the car wide, but not too wide, because that's track extension, isn't it? You do not want to be doing that, do you? Now into the technical part of the course, and this is where you're pointing the squirt, and it's very tricky, isn't it? And you want the car to be a bit more nimble at this stage of proceedings, don't you? And now coming into what I call the pine tree, which I don't even think it's called the pine tree, but there you go. I don't even think this is called the horseshoe either. I really need to probably Google what the corner names are then. I just remember it for some reason, so there you go. As now dropping down then into the dive then before coming into Young Cal then, before accelerating away then. You need a good exit out there, don't you? As he climbs up the hill, doesn't he? Ayrton's on the median compound tires as well, and once again a yellow flag in the same place as we had when Ayrton started up then. Look at that grid there, very unusual. As Ayrton is safe at the moment then, but safe is a bit of a strong word, isn't it? He's only 100th of a second safe, 1400th of a second safe, I should say that as well. That car, it's not looking too balanced on the rear there. Here comes Curly. He hasn't set a time just at the moment, has he? I've got another blue screen now. I've got to say, I always break myself when that happens there, as for some reason then my thing keeps going off and on, and I've lost the controller charge as well. It's absolutely diabolical for me, isn't it? Curly coming up to the line then. Let's see what Curly can do then. He is first time on the soft tires. He puts himself right in the third position. Good stuff indeed there from Curly. Amazing. Sean Hammers has invalidated his time short from the get-go, as has Diashi as well. Then that's not good from car 27 then. 5 minutes ago in this qualifying session. The time is now getting quicker and quicker. The time is the enemy now, isn't it? On these cars, on these drivers, I should say then. And Oh, I think that Sloth has just moved himself up into seventh position. He has indeed that. He's done 3 laps on those medium tires, so he has to carry those medium tires into the race if he gets into qualifying 3. So that is the penalty for Sloth at the moment. I wonder though if he might come to the pits and throw on a set of soft tires, and away he goes. With the rain though coming in later on in the race, that is definitely through a curveball, hasn't it? Because what tires are going to go on? When is the rain going to get here? Is the rain going to get here? Or am I thinking too much about the rain? I think I am then. But I do enjoy the raid. I think it's a raid on ALR or in the real world of Formula 1. It just really gets me blood pumping, doesn't it? As just watching Fran there just come in, just to start us off. Diash then is going for another lap, but he has to use DRS there. Oh, he's damaged the car, that's why! And no, sorry, Smithy, I apologise, I'm completely watching the wrong person there. Here comes Sean Hammerstein coming down in the back straight as well, then into turn 4 as well before accelerating away and going up the hill. Good stuff indeed then. As we've got hashtag Team Sloth as well as Swan Shanks there, just giving Sloth a good old cheer as well. And just going into the horseshoe as well. Sean Hammers as well before accelerating away on car 53. Sean Hammers has been absolutely incredible since coming back to ALR. It's been absolutely mega stuff indeed there, as he accelerates away and now comes up the hill then and into the over the grid hatches as well. And let's see what Sean Hammers can do then. What is he going to put in? What's he going to put a time in? He's 8 fast at the moment, and that's not. I don't think that's safe, is it? At this moment in time, then goodness me, as he's also overshot turn 1. Then you can see he's got on the old part of the circuit. Everything. Rembo's invalidated her time at the moment. What about Diashi? Then Diashi is coming up to the line then, as we're on board as well. And let's go then. And Diashi is 11 fast. He is not into qualifying 2 yet, and he's 700 a second and slower at the moment though. Oh goodness me then. Sean Amberson going for another bite of the cherry. Not quite, but I looked at that time then in the first split. Camera racers retired. Belize in second position at the moment then, looking very good indeed then. Nunez say my calculations, the range should be around lap 18 to 20 until the end of the race. Interconditioned, I think. Oh, good stuff indeed there. So, how is that going to change? Well, that's really changed my my outlook on the race, and that's not because if it's going to come between 18 and 20, is anyone going to try and put on? Well, no one's going to put on the hard tires now. Then they're going to try and get those medium tires to lap 20, perhaps, then, and then wait for the rain. Then that is going to be an interesting dynamic. Well, currently at the moment, then we'll take a look to see who's got doing what on what tires. Then Rembo is now gone on cross line, and she's about to start lap now, and going into the center rest. Then look at this, that is downhill. That this track is very old school. It's a lot of undulations on this circuit, and there's a lot of bumps as well, which is brilliant stuff. Serge versus saying it's a 1-stop here easily. Anyway, of course, I think we got a couple of 2-stops last time, didn't we? And Gamer won with a 2-stop strategy last time, didn't he? In the Ferrari. Brilliant stuff indeed there from Gamer's. Wow, Rembo flying past me there, as almost took off my nose there. Very quick there, coming out of turn 6 as well. Rembo then in the middle part of the course as well. And we've got a minute and a half to go in this session as well. It's not looking very promising in qualifying at this moment here. Look at the rain clouds that they are rolling in. There wasn't any mention of rain in qualifying, was there? This is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? Now then, we're coming down to Magudio as well before coming up, and Redbow has gone purple in the second intermediate split time, accelerating now out of Young Cow. Then she is doing all she's got to do now is just have her foot planted to the mat then, and here we go then, going over the grid hatch as well. There they are then, and Redbow goes second fast at the moment. They're very close to noon this time then, but not quite. Roscoe goes full fast as well in the Renault. Is that job done? Diashi is out of qualifying then, so Diashi is going to take no further part in this event then. Ayrton is on the same medium tires. Is that a mistake there from Ayrton? Ayrton perhaps said, or perhaps said he just wants a scrub set of medium tires, and perhaps said that first lap was just about getting those tires in the window then. Of course, they don't scrub tires much anymore, do they? They used to do it on the old Bridgestone tires a lot, didn't they? Especially when they had the stickers on, didn't they? They used to go out with those new set of slick tires there and just put a heat cycle in them, didn't they? I don't think they do that in these Pirellis these days. And these Pirellis seem to be a bit magical, don't they? You've got to get it's very interesting stuff, isn't it? You've got to be a magician, don't you, to get these Pirellis working. It's with proper range, and Bradfield goes across the line, and he's 5th fastest. Is that safely through? It currently is at the moment then, but the benchmark. Oh, Moicum is going to be very concerned, noticing he's invalidated this time. There is Slothfed. We've also got Fran invalidated as well. Ayrton's on the lap, and so is Smithy D. Smithy D is the slowest of the timer so far in qualifying 2 as we come down the hill then, and he's 8/10 of a second up. That is in the ballpark there for Smithy D, and now then he's up fit, and that's it. He's done all he can do now this lap then. All he's got to do is just he's got to let the engine and the aerodynamics do its work now as he now comes up to the line then. His target time's a 7. He's done a 7.5 then. That is through into qualifying 2. Good 17 there for Smithy. Slothbear is just flew past me as well. Mike is in the pits then. Mike is out of qualifying then. Well, no, he's in the qualifying at the moment. Will he stay there? And Sloth hasn't actually improved. And I think that's disappointing. And Ayrton's also in the pits as well. And Mike is into qualifying 2. Good 17 then. Cummings is also through, as is Stee as well. So Mike is through in the qualifying 3. And a very good 17 there from Mike. And he'll be counted as lucky stars when he got through that. Goodness gracious me then. Just on board then as well. Sorry, just reading the comments. I'm trying to. As a Nunda, we just got Steve who's gone fast at the moment. Good 17. Nunda says someone suddenly hates him then. Well, I hope you had talked about me, Nunda, as of course I don't hate anyone. Of course, unless you're trying to sell me salad, then yes, I do. Just watching Steve, and he was fast. I said 2/10 of a second in front of Nunda. Good stuff indeed there. Unfortunately, we've lost both Mercedes in that session. We've lost the Ferrari. We've lost Steve's teammate. We've lost Sean Hammers, which is quite a surprise. And we've also lost Diashi as well. And the form Diashi is on, and I think that's a bit of a bitter pill to swallow there for the Haas driver when he can see that his teammate Rembo is right up there in 3rd position as well then. As Nuna saying hashtag team Sloth as well, and yeah, so unfortunately Sloth is out of qualifying. You see there he is in the 2nd Ferrari then, as he is just accelerated out of turn 3 as well then. So that's getting the qualifying 2 then. We're going into qualifying 3 as well, with Energetics not in this qualifying session, no is Velocity either, and same with Newman then. Who is going to be on pole position then for this Brazilian Grand Prix? Nunda has had pole position twice before, hasn't he, this season? Is he the favourite then? This is going to get very interesting indeed. I'm looking forward to this qualifying session. It's very much up in the air, isn't it? So the only man to go through on medium tyres, so actually Cummings said that might play to his advantage there in the later on in the race. Well, look at those rain clouds. They are rolling in. Are we going to get rain before the end of this qualifying session? It's going to get very interesting indeed then. Very good stuff indeed there. Cummings saying, yes, you'll see why in a minute, Sean. Medium tyres. Yes, indeed. They're good stuff indeed there for Cummings there. He is through there by just under a 10th of a second, and that is going to be crucial in the race, I think. Then our qualifying then is Ayrton in his second on Grand Prix. Unfortunately, Diashi, Fran, Hammers is out, which is quite surprising. Team Sloth is going to be disappointed with. Sloth is out of qualifying as well as we exit qualifying 2 and we go into qualifying 3 as well. Then. As I'm just quickly getting rid of all the old notifications then. And here we go again then. Qualifying 3 then, and that's it. And we've got 12 minutes to go in this session then. Who is going to be on pole position, as I was just mentioning just before we got into this session then. Only person in this qualifying has got pole position is Nunda. No one else had a pole position before that. Are we going to get a new pole sitter? Will it be Bradfield? What about Curly Red? Can Mike get a pole position then? This season he's had 2 wins, he's had 5 podiums, he's had a fastest up, and he's had 3, and he's had a driver of the day as well, but he's never on pole position this season. Can he do it? Interesting stuff indeed then. Out of the pits then comes the racing point of Curly now then. So just adjust me over the headset as well. Then you can see, look how difficult this pit exit is. It's very narrow, isn't it, as well? So you've got to be quite careful, otherwise you might crash coming out of the pits as well. Berger did it, didn't he, back in the Portuguese Grand Prix, 93 then. So, and it's not the Berger, they're one of the most experienced drivers in F1 history, isn't he? He's had 11, he has 7 race wins or 11 race wins. Gerhard Berger did, of course. He's driven for every top team there is imaginable, isn't he? Of course, he drove for the Benetton team, he drove for the Ferrari team, he drove for the McLaren team as well, didn't he, Gerhard Berger? Absolutely stupendous stuff, isn't he? And I think I like Gerhard Berger. One of my more likable drivers, I think, and good stuff there. As Sarah was saying, I'll just have to have the salad, said nobody. Yes, I don't think anyone would ever have salad then. Goodness gracious me, it's rubber food, isn't it? Of course. course. So just watching Curly Red then coming out of Young Cow as well then, and accelerating up the hill. And those clouds, and we have been told that there's no rain in this qualifying session, but those clouds are looking very menacing up there, aren't they? Goodness me then, they look very angry, don't they? What can Curly do then? I think it's a golden opportunity for one of these non-drivers. Steve is not in this qualifying session, as he gets a slap on the wrist, hasn't he? As he's not allowed to take part in qualifying free because of his misdemeanors. We've got Curly Red then coming down the back straight as well. It's a non-drivers going for pole position there, and I think any one of these non-drivers can get pole position as well. I'm rubbing my hands in glee because this is going to be fantastic. This qualifying session is Curly then is now in the middle part of the course, middle part of the sector as well. He is going to be the first one. Lovely over the shoulder shot from the racing point as well. Absolutely stupendous stuff here from Curly. And now then in the middle part of the course, well, into the pine tree. That lovely shot. Look at that. That's absolutely a beautiful car, isn't it? The racing point. It very much looks very similar to the one that won the championship in Formula 1 2019. But we'll stay away from that fun fact for the minute, shall we? But Curly Red then into Young Cow as well. He's done a 51-1 in the second split as well. That's it now. He's made his final decision on this lap, and all he's got to do is gently turn the wheel left, doesn't he? Not too sharp here, otherwise you'll be in the wall, won't you? Curly exits the final turn as well. The finish line's right in front of him. He is on pole position at the moment. Is that going to be good enough? No, because Cummings is 2/10 of a second in front of the racing point as well. What about his teammate Camaro? I think that one of the Red Bulls might be favourites at this stage of proceedings, but Camaro's invalidated his time. Rembo has not invalidated her time, no. And let's see what she can do. She's been very quick in the start of this session, and once again she's on pole position at the moment. Is that good enough? Mike is full fastest in the McLaren, and I'm waiting for Mike to spring a surprise head here. Roscoe is coming into the pits then, as unfortunately he's made a problem there, hasn't he? No, I think also Bradfield's just started to start, so Roscoe having some issues then. Smithy D then is coming up the hill as well. Nunez on pole position there. I completely missed it. I apologise, Nunez. He is on pole position. He's the only man in this qualifying session that's been on pole position before. And just under a tenth, less than a tenth of a second, Smithy D goes 6 fastest at this moment in time then as well. Camera Racer's got a racing point in front of it at the moment. Then we're on board then with Camera Racer as we drop down the dive bed. Now into a 50.9 as well. Yellow flag says it's Red Bull just letting the Williams driver through then. Accelerating up the hill then. And look at his Camera Racer then. Is that racing point is a bit too slow there for Camaro's liking then. As he's carrying on then. We're on board there with the red helmet of Camaro. And where does he go? He goes full fast mode. Lines up 2/10 of a second behind his teammate at this moment in time then. Bradfield then is done his first sector, and he is in the second section now. Roscoe has a set of time then. Steve ain't going to be setting the time then. Oh, Bradfield then. He's done a 51 in the second intermediate split time, accelerates away. Bradfield's been very good at qualifying over the course of the season, especially as of late then. Nunda is currently the benchmark at 0.7210 is the time to beat for, and Bradfield out of the final turn as well. Where is it? It is full fast as he gets in between the Red Bull then. And I've got to say, it's an all Honda party, 3rd, 4th and 5th at the moment. Good stuff indeed there. But remember that, so I'm wondering what Bradfield has left in the tank there. But that's Row 2 at the moment. Good stuff. The Camera Racer, I think there might be more to play for in this Red Bull as well then. So with 6 minutes to go in this qualifying session, Nunda is on pole position there for the 3rd time in his career so far then. Rembo is alongside him on Row 1. That is a juicy Row 1, isn't it? Nunda is battling for the final promotion spot. Rembo hasn't got much to lose for the rest of the season. Actually, she's down in 9th for the championship, but of course she would like to elevate her position there. Cummings in 3rd position there. Cummings would also like to get Red Bull out of the bottom of the constructors there, and also like to get himself in the top 10, which is still feasible. Bradfield in 4th position there. Camaro in 5th then. Curly is 6th and Mike is 7th at the moment, and with Smithy D in 8th position then, as Camaro is coming back into the pits now as well. And we've got a Red Bull of Cummings is out of the pits then, straight from the get-go. I wonder if he's got an extra set of soft tires available. And remember the rules for this qualifying session. If you of course you get an extra set of soft tires, don't you? Bradfield is coming into the pits as well then, and so then he's going to be now just I wonder if he's going to go for another run. So I'm wondering if Cummings has 3 sets of tires. If he does, he can go for 3 runs here then, Cummings can then. So this could be an advantage, and he might be able to build up, the confidence as what the track is doing at the moment then. Because the track evolution around here hasn't been too steep, has it? But with the clouds gathering over then, I'm wondering if that's going to make the track slightly slower at this stage of proceedings then. Nunda saying, don't panic, don't panic. He is currently 101st second in front of Rempo. The one Cummings there is coming now over the turn 14 as well. And let's see what the Red Bull trying to do. We're on board with him now as well. Cummings said is in his 7th Grand Prix in bronze now, isn't he? And I remember when he first debuted in Belgium there, goodness me, he really threw the cat amongst the pigeons with his pace then. I think since that race he hasn't lived up to expectations as much then, but he's starting to really come to his own now. He scored points last time out, didn't he? Cummings did then, if I'm not very much mistaken. I think I might be. No, I had, goodness me, I've got a great memory on that. Yeah, he scored, I think he scored 5th position in there last time out in Mexico. Good stuff did there, and I think that's really going to, I think that's going to give him a lot of confidence now for the remainder of the season as well. So interesting to see what Cummings can do next season in Bronson as well. We're on board there with Cummings, said he's coming out of the punch. He's taking a lot of curbage there, isn't he? Outlaps also for Camera Racer and for Mike as well. These guys are out quite early on at the moment. There's 4.5 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Now Cummings there coming down the dive then, and now then he's 32 seconds down in this split then. I wonder if he's got a bit more fuel on board then, because this fuel light is not flashed at this stage of proceedings then. And we're waiting for him now, unless he's a set of scrug tyres on the soft tyres. Right, yeah, he abandons the time and comes back into the pits there, Cummings says then. So I wonder if that was kind of an audition ready for his final attempt for going for pole. But this is final assault then for Cummings as well. But let's see what Camaro can do as well. He's also coming over the line, and look at the top left hand corner. That time is ticking down now, is there, for these drivers then? It's going to get going to be very nervous indeed, isn't it? Camera Racer then coming out of the infamous turn 3, if anyone remembers the 2003 Brazilian Grand Prix. Good gosh there. Camera then coming into turn 5, then he had to do a second lap on his first set of soft tyres then. So the soft tyres are not their absolute premium, were they? So this time then, can he get it in the bag there straight from the get-go for Camera Racer then? He's been brilliant as in the latter half of the season then. Can he get some major points then to end off his season on a high, which I think's been overall very disappointed for Camera Racer. But Nicole said this is his first season in the ALR, and I think as disappointed as he may be, I think that there's a lot of potential in this man, isn't there? And he's got a lot of speed there under his right boot, hasn't he? As he comes out of Magudio as well, 2/10 second, then almost on the grass there. He was on the grass there, taking not using too much curve on the outside there. Good stuff indeed there. Cummings saying it was a scrub set. I have one fresh set of left then. So Cummings was probably just putting in a side turn as well. What about Camaro? Camaro is on pole position there. Good time there from Camaro. He's been threatening that as the all session long then. Mike is 3/10 a second up as well. Mike is 5th fastest in the McLaren then. These guys have gone out relatively early there with 2.5 minutes to go in this session then. Smithy D there. It's just starting us out then. Rempo in the middle part of the course as well. Car 96 then for Rempo. I think she changed her number, hasn't she? Goodness me. So she comes down into the dive once again. Then good stuff indeed there from the Haas rider. She is looking very much very on it tonight, isn't she? That is enough to get herself in front of Nunda. I'm not sure if it's enough to get herself in front of Camaro at the moment, who is at the moment head and shoulders above everyone else there. But I think that Nunda there has another run left. And what about and Rempo's on pole position there by 400 of a second there from Camera Racer in second position. Goodness gracious me. Nunda is also making his appearance out on the track as well. This is going to be a fantastic entry qualifying. Oh, can't wait for this one. Smithy D has found 2/10 a second at the moment. Brilliant stuff, Ben. And as they're just flying down in the dive once again, then Smithy D is at 200 a second up, then coming out of Juncal on board. Then Camaro is out of the rate, out qualifying then. So the highest is going to be a second at the moment. Then Smithy D is flying past us in turn 14. DRS and his teammate is behind him as well. Smithy D is 8th fastest at the moment, improves by 10th of a second though. And now we have got Curly Red just starting his lap as well then. 1 minute to go. Formula Moment saying me and Nunda raced around here a couple of weeks back. Nunda is very good around here. He's 3rd fastest at the moment. Then can he produce the good set on the track then? Curly is at 1200 down in the first sector then. This is where you really make up the time in the second intermediate split time. And flying past me as well. Rempo, I think, is going for now. Running, she's on pole position again there. And it's about a 10th of a second there. And goodness me, then Rempo then is absolutely flying there. That's another good lap as well. And that could be her first pole position of her ALR career. Absolutely magnificent stuff indeed. What's Curly doing at the moment? And he is 7th fastest in car 12. And he's got too greedy on the throttle there. He is spun around into the dive there. And unfortunately, then that is a very precarious position there. Just as Roman Grosjean, he had a big smash there in 2012, didn't he? Bradfield is out of qualifying. Oh my goodness me! Oh, he's gone off in turn 5, and what a blow for Bradfield! And that is a shame then. And that's a major contender gone in this qualifying session there. Oh goodness me! Roscoe has started his lap as well. Smithy D is going for one more run then. He has done a lot of laps there. Well, he's done about 4 laps on those soft tires. Curly is going for another lap again then after he had some issues then. What about Nunda then? Nunda is 2/10 of a second down at the moment there. It looks like he has time for one. Oh, the checker flag has fallen for Nunda. Or it might be a bit out of sync though. Let's find out then. As Nunda is in the pits and Nunda is in the pits and goodness me, we're definitely guaranteed that. Oh, Cummings is in the wall. Cummings is in the wall. Goodness me, what is going on here? Oh, goodness gracious me. Oh gosh, I wasn't expecting. I'm not sure on the Cummings. And Roscoe's done a 51 in the second split. This is one and only run here in qualifying 3. Out of Yoon Cow as well then. Powering up the hill then for the Renault driver then. Can Roscoe then spoil Red Bull stay then? Here he comes then up to the line in the Renault as well. He needs a 7 flat. He's gone into 5th fastest and not enough fun. As Cummings is still in the wall. We have also got Smithy and we've got Curly's in Friday this time then. And Smithy is now. Is he going to have enough time in the bank then? Here he comes then out to the final turn then. Smithy D is 8th fast. Look at how close these times are. But it is Renpo who is on pole position then for the Brazilian Grand Prix. That's her first pole position in her ALR career. Absolutely fantastic stuff then as well then. She might need a push though to get back into the pit lane. I don't think she's going to care too much about that though. What a performance there from Renpo, and Formula Moments even agreed as well. That was an absolutely stupendous lap. It really was then. Now she's just coming back into the well, I'm wondering if she's going to have a very leisurely return back to the pits as well. That's absolutely magnificent. It really is. So well done to Renpo. That's her first pole position of her career in ALR. So brilliant stuff indeed then. So then it's Renpo has now come into the pit side. So brilliant stuff indeed there. Now I think that's Haas's first pole position of the season, if I'm not very much mistaken. It's goodness me, I can't. I've opened the Facebook stream accidentally and I can't get rid of it now. Oh, there we go. Let's just minimise that and pretend it's not there, shall we? There we go. Great. Yeah, so absolutely amazing stuff indeed there. Dave Cummings missed time there. Formula Moments, what a lap then. Serious Russia. We going to get a first female pole sitter. Yes, indeed we are then. My dad walked in and I felt the pressure then from Nunda. Serious Russia said, are we down then? Welcome, well done Renpo there from Formula Moments. Nunda saying, can still bounce back, but GG to Renpo. And there she is. She's on pole position then for the Brazilian Grand Prix. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Camera Racer is alongside her on row 1. Both those two drivers have got a point to prove, I think, tonight then. Nunda in third position. He's going to try and get that final promotion spot there away from Newman. It's 2 points separates those two at the moment there. Cummings in fourth position then. And can he now, can he continue his good run of form from Mexico? Roscoe in fifth position. Mike in sixth. Having a quiet weekend so far. Mike is Bradfield in seventh. A shame for Bradfield then. I think he would have been up there as well. Smithy D in eighth position then. Ninth is Curdy. And Steve there in 10th position there. Getting no time in there, unfortunately. This is going to be really good indeed, isn't it? And here we go then. Diashi saying she finally gets what she deserves then. Yeah, she's been very unlucky throughout the season, and Diashi very happy for her then. And Serious Russian saying, well done, Renpo then. And yes, indeed, she's usually in the comments then. So obviously, Renpo is taking this race very seriously indeed then. Right then, we've had qualifying. Now it's time for the race as well. And I might have been lied to here, because look, there's not even a cloud in the sky, is there? And there's us talking about maybe that we're going to get a deluge. Well, at the moment, that's definitely not a deluge. It's a goodness gracious me then. It's beautiful out there. I might have to get me sandals on there. Of course, or my Crocs. I might rock me Crocs then maybe a bit later on then. So the drivers are now getting themselves ready and ready to go then, and hopefully we can have a very clean start then to the Brazilian Grand Prix. Hopefully I can actually watch it this time as well, because last night there I decided to go AWOL, absolutely without leave there, yeah, so yeah, there you go then. Hopefully that don't happen again here tonight as well. So let me get rid of me TikTok notification then, as Sam has posted a new TikTok, lovely stuff. Right then, here we go then, as we're now finishing off then. We're 5 seconds away then before the start of the Brazilian Grand Prix. 2 more rounds to go of ALR bronze, and absolutely been a brilliant season. And Velocity has already got the championships he wants. Nunda has also got half of what he wants. He just wants to finish off the job here tonight and get third position. Well, I don't think he cannot finish off the job tonight. Even if he gets the win, he will still be 24 points in front, and Newman potentially could be able to gain up back in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So as we're saying, it's going to be a good race. Good luck to all drivers, and I think it's going to be a good one indeed then. Right then, let's go for the tyre, shall we? And there's not a hard tyre in sight, is there? And look at this, I'm starting to believe that there's rain on the horizon, because look at that. That track is absolutely pristine at the moment. So look at that, there's a bit of heat haze coming off as well. And let's reinforce stormy end to the Brazilian Grand Prix. I'm looking forward to that then. Rempo's taking a very leisurely formation lap here, isn't she? And it's coming. So look at this, as Camera Racer has overtaken her, but of course she dictates the pace, doesn't she? So yep, it's her right away then. Of course, remember, Michael Schumacher got disqualified from the British Grand Prix 94 for doing that kind of stuff, and I don't think we're going to do it here in ALR now. Rempo on pole position there. Cameras alongside her on row 1. Nunda, can he seal the deal and get as many points as possible to get in front of Newman for that final promotion spot? Coming to 4th position on medium tyres. Roscoe is 5th then. Mike is 6th. Bradfield is 7th there. Smithy D in 8th position in front of Curly in 9th then. Stee in 10th position on soft tyres then. Sloth is just behind his teammate in 11th position medium tyres. Sean Hammer's disappointed in qualifying. Can he make up for it in the race? And he's 12th on medium tyres. Fran in 13th position on soft tyres. Diashi 14th on the medium tyres. Ayrton's also on medium, along with Billet as well in the McLaren. 17th is Gunnar with Smithy Almighty 18th, and they're both on soft tyres. The Alfa Romeos are. Artie Wee is on the medium tyres, and Velocity, the world champion of bronze head, and also the Williams Constructors champions as well, is in 20th position as well then. We're now on board as Camera Racers already lined up on the grid then. He's going to be a bit lonesome up there, isn't he? Because look, those are the leaders coming up now then. Here we go then. It's the build up for the Brazilian Grand Prix has been absolutely intense, hasn't it? Of course, with Velocity winning the championship then, and of course all the prizes are done now, aren't they? But there's still a lot more up for grabs here in bronze. Of course, about that final promotion spot, as the first 2 positions in the championship are going to be staying as they are, aren't they? There's also a lot of pride to play for in the Constructors World Championship as well, as they are lining up on the grid then for the start of the Brazilian Grand Prix as well. This is going to be a fast and furious. This one is. I'm looking forward to it as well. There's the pit. There's a Velocity. It's just lined up in the background as well. You've seen the pit stop prediction then. And we're just waiting for the lights. There they are then. As when they on, and where we go, we are going the Brazilian Grand Prix. Not yet. That's why I've got myself attuned to that then. And now we are racing here in Brazil. It is go, and a good start there from Rempo, but I think Camera Racer is alongside now. Rempo's had the perfect start as well. Camera's going to show the nose, not quite then. Rempo there absolutely judged that to perfection. Roscoe's up 2 positions straight from the get-go as well. There's 2 cars scampering across the AstroTurf in turn 1 then, and a great start though from Rempo. Roscoe's had a magnificent start. Mike has had a great start as well. Cummings is down 1 position there, and Nunda's dropped right down into 9th position as well. Look, there's a bit of banging wheels as well. And what's happened to Nunda? Nunda's had a appalling start. He's been forced off the track then. Nunda's in major trouble as well. It's in the Williams there. What's gone on there for the man who's third on the grid then? Ayrton's off the track out in the background as well. And also Sloth is dropping down the order as well. And Nunda going up the inside then. So Nunda there, and what a shame there for Nunda, having a couple of issues there. This is not good at all, is it, for Nunda if he wants to get third in the World Championship? There is the pit stop predictions there. 1 stop or 2 stop there. Currently going up the inside of Fran there. Of course, that is the Lewis Hamilton Albon turn there, isn't it? It's actually having a look up the inside as well there. Velocity's up to 16 so far, because some believe that Rempo then is at the dream start, hasn't she? Then she has nailed the start brilliantly, and now then she is going to be able to control the pace. Of course, you can't get too close in the DRS though, because it's quite easy to overtake in the DRS around here. I say easy, an overtake is never easy, is it? As Smith indeed, and it's just got past Smithy Almighty then as he's dropped down the outside. Look at these cars and look at them streaming through the turn rest as well as they accelerate out of turn 3 then. And no DRS just yet at the moment, and they say, oh, I'm not certain about it, but I've got to say that's a very good start, isn't it? Nunes had a polling start, he's dropped down 9 positions so far, and we're looking at the wrong, I thought he was looking in the wrong way then. And look in the background as well, there is one of the Alpha Tauris as well, having a look at the inside, and I think that was wasn't the AlphaTauri, because both of them were in front of Curly Red, and so I'm speaking absolute rubbish as well. Sebastian is just a come on Rumpo. She is currently leading this race, but she's 4/10 of a second in front of Camaro at the moment. Roscoe is looking very good as well in third position. A lovely 17th there, as again Vet Squirrely there coming out of the pine trees. Are on board Nunda then. Nunda then is of course he's got a lot in this race, riding on this race, hasn't he? So he needs to start to make his way back through the field as quickly as possible. Nunda the biggest loser in that opening stint there. C has gone up 4 positions, lovely stuff, as has the world champion Velocity as well. Brilliant then, as we swat back to the tire as well, as we're climbing up the hill there. Lap 2 out of 36 in this race, and it's a long way to go. Roscoe is all over the back there at camera race, so he's having a look going down turn 1. Nunes passed that Ferran as well, but Roscoe's up the inside there. Camera getting him a good old squeeze. There's the DRS has now been enabled there. Velocity has also passed the billet and moved up to 15th position there. Both Williamses there are starting to get on with it here in this race, and they were coming down into late descent then, as Mike there is really starting to keep Cummings behind. Cummings is on the outside there, and on the grass there, but Mike is not yielding then. Oh, and Cummings getting squirrely, and Steers on the outside there, goodness me, and they're wheel to wheel going up the hill then, and Steers on the 5th position there. Cummings there, of course, he was on the outside there. That was probably that might not be the best place to put his car there. Mike didn't give him much room either, did he? Nunda is still having a battle with Fran there. Of course, he made that move back up into, oh goodness me, there's a car off. That's Fran who's off the circuit then. Fran is off the circuit. There's a car just stream by. That's a shame there for the second Mercedes, and he is down in 18th position now. And that is not good at all, is it, from Fran then? Red Bull is still leading this race, and at the moment she's looking very calm at the moment there. The top 3 have never won a race in ALR before, have they? Rempo, Camaro and Roscoe. Mike has won 2 races this season. Remember, it was that great strategical call in the Australian and the Dutch Grand Prix that got him, that elevated him to 2 race wins. I feel that's the first double race winner of the season, wasn't it? So he's been very good indeed then. Now Steve's going on the outside, but Mike is going to go on the inside. It just feels like Mike hasn't got the pace around here tonight then. I say that, but Mike is still in 4th position, isn't he? But he is banging wheels there with Stedo. So I say Mike hasn't got the pace, but he's in a great 4th position, isn't he? Yeah, Steve's not using DRS though, is he? Which is interesting there from the Ferrari. I wonder if there's a problem there. And Cummings now on the outside once again then, like he did last lap there, and he's also been run wide then. And where's the replay from last lap then? Because somebody then Cummings there is going to have to just yield back off that as well. In the background as well, we have got Smithy D getting past Hammers and up into I think I've got the right way around. I think Hammers got past Curly Red actually. Nunes also involved in this battle as well. Lovely good stuff indeed there. For moments is hoping that Nunda gets up there, and of course, and look at Curly going up the inside there, and not quite, and I think Full Moments also has his front, but won a race in the ALR. No, she has not, as Sarah's Mercenary has stolen my thunder there. No, she has never won a race so far in the ALR. Yeah, so the top 3 have never won a race in the ALR. Mike is the highest placed to win a race in the ALR in 4th position at the moment, and I think it's the only man in the top 10 so far. The other man is actually Nunda at the moment, so yeah, there's a lot of opportunities here in the Brazilian Grand Prix at the moment. Mike has now dropped down and past C, or as he knows, he's gone wide there, and Mike there being very robust there, and as D is drawn back as well. Cummings has got a penalty there for running wide there, and he's now on the outside on those medium tires there. Cummings is there. Cummings has got to remember though, of course, that he doesn't want to lose his wing at this stage. There's a safety car. We got a safety car because there's a Mercedes off the circuit. It's Artie Wee. Artie Wee's gone off, and also Fran is off as well in turn 1. Gunnar is right at the back of the field as well, and damage there on the Mercedes. So safety car on lap 5. Bert Mylander is coming out of the pits as well, and that's a shame then for Fran. And Fran, that's two adventures there to France also far in this race. Possible the first woman to win an ALR race tonight then. Touch wood, as I don't want to curse the chat then as well. That's usually my job Formula Moments, as I seem to do that. So I'm being very cautious at the moment then. But a safety car has added an extra dimension into this race then. It's Artie Weed there is doing a bit of lawnmower in there, but unfortunately he's got a 5-second penalty. I'm being very tight-lipped about this, but the safety car coming out there, this has thrown an extra dynamic in the race. Rembo's coming in the pit set. So is Camera Racer. This is slightly earlier than last night then. And I think that Cummings is going to take the lead in this race if he stays out. And indeed he is. He's on 5 up over the medium tire set. Every soft runner is in the pits at the moment. Sean Hammers has elevated himself up into 4th as well then. So here's the pole sitter and the race leader coming in the pits. So change on to those medium tires out for the Haas. Great stop indeed then. And it's just taking a look at Camera Racer in second position. Oh, no, this is good racing, isn't it, from the top three? I'm loving this. Nuda also in the pit as well, of course. Nuda's got a lot riding on this race, as I mentioned then, as he's changing onto the medium tires. Good stop there from the Williams team. One of the best pit crews in the whole of the pit lane, isn't there? And look, Smithy D is behind Nunda there, and Bradfield there is also behind as well. Curly has got up in 60th position now. Ayrton right behind the racing point, and RDW is changing the nose cone as well, as the Renault mechanics are not looking too interested in that car at the moment, are they? But I think that was a 5-second penalty. Fran there, who was also involved in that scuffle in the first corner there, is also coming out of the pits. Well, there's much I stopped. I won't stop there, soft to medium then. Road Ghost, the early safety car is going to be interesting. It really is indeed then. Hards won't make it, and if yesterday is anything to go by, indeed, remember Gurman, he was so close. He was 1 lap away. He put on those hard tires on lap 8, if I'm not very much mistaken, didn't he? Or something like that then, but he went a very long way on those hard tires, but it wasn't enough, was it? So, yes, I think that a lot of drivers might have learned from Gurman's issues last night, and of course, and that's the advantage of going later on, isn't it? So it's definitely advantage there for these drivers here then as well then. As just on board then is Cummings there, and Mike have come to blows a couple of times so far, but at the moment Cummings is leading this race, and he does have a penalty at the moment. I think it's a 3-second penalty, but he is leading. Any of the only soft runner not to pit is actually Smithy at the moment. Smithy Almighty in 7th position. They good something there for the Alfa Romeo driver. Every other medium shot tire runner has stayed out, so Cummings is leading. Hammers the second. Sloth in 3rd position. Velocity, the world champion, of course, the world champion of the constructors and the drivers, is in 4th bed. Diashi in 5th position. Billet in 6th. Smithy D in 7th. Those drivers are not pitted. Rembo is now in traffic in 8th position. This is where it becomes very perilous, doesn't it, now for the drivers that have come in early. She is in 8th position now. Camaro in 9th position there. Medium shot tires there. Roscoe's gone on soft bed, so he's going for an adventurous second stint here. Mike is on the medium tires in 12th position. Nuna in 13th. Smithy D 14th. 15th is Bradfield. Soft tires there. Curly in 16th position. Ayrton on soft as well. 17th. Gooner had to pit earlier on, then he's in 18th position there on the medium tires as well. 19th is Fran, and RDW is 20th. The RDW is the only man onto the hard tire. Just as I lean over down so much, and then Bert Mylander is the most experienced driver in ALR. Indeed he is. I think he's got more appearances than Murphy there. Murphy was on 72 odd, wasn't he? Sebastian saying, I feel for Rembo, she's now in traffic. Yeah, so this is quite a perilous situation, isn't it, for the leaders, likes of Rembo, Camera Racer and Roscoe. Roscoe's going to be under a bit more pressure though, because he's on the softer tire, so he has to make that work, doesn't he? Roscoe does. So yeah, a bit extra pressure on the Renault driver as we're on board, and the race hopefully. Yes, there is, and the safety car is in at the end of this lap then. On board with Cummings, so he's going to be the de facto safety car. You cannot pass until the first safety car line. As just now on board then with Cummings, he is now just getting those tires warmed up as well. Look at this, we are pointing into the sky almost. That's how steep this hill is, isn't it? And Nunda's got a major penalty there for going into the back of Mike, and now we got a couple of severe collisions there. They're appearing all over the graphic as well. When is Cummings going? He is let loose, and here we go then. We are back racing here in Brazil, and that's a shame now for Nunez there. And now we got Camera Racer, who is look, Roscoe is on the outside. Roscoe's had some issues. He's dropping down the order, isn't he? And we got a side-by-side action there. And look at that. Oh my goodness me, Camaro, I think. Who was that? Look at this, and there's all kind of shenanigans going on here. Oh, and Camaro is in the wall. And it looks like he misplaced there, but oh goodness gracious me. And Camaro, and oh dear, the man who was second on the grid there, and it was looking very feisty, wasn't it? And look at this, as we go down into the late descent. Well, Smithy D is struggling, isn't he? And I wonder if it's Smithy D's softer soft shot car that really caused all the anarchy there. And obviously Roscoe is dropping down the order. Steve has moved up into 8th position as well. Rembo's up in 7th as she's stuck behind Billet, because Billet there is one of the runners who hasn't stopped just yet. But of course, Rembo does have the high ground as such. That is, she's got to go on the inside then into the Hamilton turn, and of course that's where Hamilton punted Albon off, wasn't it, in the 2019 goodness me now as well there. As as it just on board, Sears Rush depends on when the rain is coming. Yes, we haven't even mentioned about the rain yet, because at the moment it's absolutely beautiful day out there, isn't it? But yes, there is rain afoot somewhere, but look at that sky, it's beautiful at the moment, isn't it? Rempo are on board with Nan and Billet then is just now going to go on the inside then, so Rempo's going to go on the outside. She has fresh up. Oh my goodness me, Steve's on the inside, Steve's on the inside, she's going to take it, is he? Oh my goodness me, it's getting very fisticuffs there, and now then, as a Billet has still kept that position, but Rempo's been broke third, and now Steve is through, and up into 7 finish then, he could be over to 6 as well. Look at these cars, they're coming all over the back of the McLaren, and they're going on the inside then, as not quite ends well, so oh, and now we've also Camaro is out of the race, and of course, the drivers have got the. Oh, look at this! And his Mike is now up the inside as well. Rempo is having an appalling part of this race, and the McLaren is throwing. Oh, Roscoe there, of course. He's come back on the track then. Oh, goodness me! Oh dear, then. And Roscoe there took too much of a tighter line, didn't he? And then he half spun, and Rempo's got damage. I think there's damage on Roscoe. No, there's not damage on the Renault then. And oh dear, then. Oh dear, it's not good towards it. As I just saying, look, then there's anarchy in this middle stage, and the McLaren has gone wide again. Then yellow flags there as well, and the Alfa Romeo has gone off there. And just taking a look, then is Roscoe is carrying on as well. Velocity is now in the third position, getting past Loffman. Roscoe then is somehow become unscathed on that one. Camera Racer is out of the race. He's left possession into the pits there. I thought that Bradfield's going to the pits, and Nunda is. There's also the top position there, and they're just taking a look down and seeing what's occurring at the moment. And no one's coming to pits, surprisingly. There's a lot of damage, and what is going on here? There is Mike who is trying to defend there from the soft shot, and there's Rempo. Then Rempo doesn't have any damage at all. Goodness me, they make him very strong in America. She's gone on the inside, and Roscoe is on the outside there as well. But Roscoe there is going to stay put, and Steve, that's a critical part of the race, because Steve has got past this queue of cars, hasn't he? And that is going to be crucial later on in this race, and Roscoe needs to do the same if he wants to make these soft tyres work, doesn't he? Oh goodness gracious me then. And as I'm just on board then, once again we've read about the pole settled one, and there's Mike just in front of us. Mike is on the sub-medium tyres then at the moment. He's just trying to find any pace there. Velocity is now with the third position, as I just mentioned that last lap around there. And look at these Q cars. This is the action of the race so far. Cummings leads by 2 seconds from Hammers in second. Velocity in third position. Sloth fourth. Diashi fifth. Steve is in sixth position. And there's this queue of cars, this gang of cars here, isn't it? Velocity is now up into second position there. Gets past Sean Hammers then. Good stuff indeed then. Mike there is going to be. I can't believe no one's got damage from that exchange there, the last lap there. That's absolutely incredible. Now Rempo is also now in the middle as well. Mike might be down the safety car. Oh my gosh, we've had a major incident there coming into the pits. It's Artie Wee and a Billet there, and look at this, they've had a severe collision there coming into the pits, and there's another safety car in this race. Goodness gracious me then. And yeah, we've had 2 incidents now coming into the pits, and there's me saying that they don't need to worry about that. So as the McLaren mechanics getting ready to work as well, and so who is going to come in the pits at this stage of proceedings? So safety car at the moment then. Is this a good time then for the medium shot runners to go onto the hard tires, or are they going to try and go onto the soft tires? Well, I would say no, because of course the hard compound tires didn't last too long. I think this is when I think Gurman came in a couple laps earlier last night, didn't he? If I'm not very much mistaken. So perhaps the hard tire, the pit window for the hard tire is now open. Velocity is also going to be in. It's going to be Cummings' forefront now, isn't he? In the forefront of Cummings' mind now, because he is now in second position. He's the world champion. And now let's see what these guys are doing. So Cummings is coming in the pits then. Velocity is staying out there. So is Sean Hammers as well then. So Cummings, I'm wondering if yeah, Cummings in the pits, and so is Diashi as well then. So we're on board Diashi then in the Haas, and anyone else, I think everyone else is going to probably stay out really, because everyone else took the advantage, and Roscoe is also coming in the pits as well then. So then this might be, so Roscoe might be a bit disappointed about that, isn't he? Because he didn't really get a good fist of things, did he, on those soft tires then. So the Haas mechanics good work. He is on the hard tires. Diashi is going to go to the end of the race then, if no other safety cars then cause any gremlins there. Here comes Cummings coming out of the pits, and he is racing alongside Smithy D. Smithy D is through, or is he? No, he isn't, because look at this, as they're side by side, they're allowed to race coming out of the pits then, but then of course now they're on track, they must stay you must now stay in the C position then. As we've got a lot of drivers there on the hard tires at the back there, on the back. So let's take stock, shall we? Goodness me. Now, let me also quickly go through the comments as well. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And yeah, as just I'm going to look then, yes, so as Sebastian saying, ooh, spicy. Yes, the rain is coming, I think, anyway. We have also got and that's serious much to say that Nunda might have been Josh and us. Road Ghost Red Bull's got to get through the traffic then, but that is a near challenging goal then in terms of Steve, wasn't it? As he got through quite early on then. A bit of a demolition derby, it really is at the moment, isn't it? Goodness me, that. It's a good 79. Good old bit of chatter then as well then. And as Sebastian's asking when's the rain come between lap 18 and 20 according to Nunda. But I gotta say, I'm not really sure about that at the moment. You can see that there are a bit of clouds, but there's no threatening clouds up there is at the moment. So Velocity has decided to stay out now. He's put himself under a lot of pressure. Because he now has to really put his toe down, doesn't he? And really sprint away, because he's now got, unless there's no other safety car, he's gambling on another safety car. It's been very kind to Velocity, hasn't it? The safety cars have in Mexico, and I think in the United States Grand Prix as well, if I'm not very much mistaken. But he is gambling on the safety car again now, isn't he? At noon, Velocity is. Otherwise, he's going to have to make a pit stop under full racing conditions there, and you do lose a lot of time, don't you? Sean Hammer's in second position moment. Sloth on a great race in third position there. Steve, his teammate, is right behind him in fourth there. Rempo is in fifth position there. Sixth is Mike. Then we've got Nunda, who's back up in the seventh. And good 17 there for Nunda. Coming to the eighth position there. They both got penalties. Ninth position is Smithy D. 10th position is Diashi as well. And they're on hard tires, Cummings and Diashi, and all the way down there, because that is quite crucial, because they should get to the end on that. Bradfield in 12th position there, Gooner in 13th, Ayrton 14th, Curly in 15th position there, RDW is on the medium tires, 17th is Fran, we have Smithy in 18th position there, and Billet in 19th. Camera Racer retired from the race there after coming in the pits and retiring then. Which is a bit of a shame, really. Of course, the drivers that retired, they came in the pits and retired on Sunday. The drivers who came in the pits and retired on Sunday had a points deduction, didn't they? I think Fireshot had a 10-point deduction, and someone else had a 10-point deduction as well. Kingdom had a 5-point deduction. So yeah, that's kind of what you get then for coming in the pits and retiring then. And it's a shame for Camera Racer, because he's got the speed here tonight then. With this safety car coming up, then it potentially could have been a reset for him, and maybe he would have gone back into this race then. Anything can happen in ALR, can it? So I think he'd be a bit disappointed with that one. I'm certainly disappointed that he is not able to continue on this race. Saves the cars out for another lap then, as we're waiting for Billet there to run board Billet now then in the McLaren Grand Prix. So he's just powering up the hill as well. The Hungarian Grand Prix driver, isn't he? Of course, so almost he's as famous now as Zon Baumgartner in my eyes. That's a brilliant 17th there for Billet in 19th position. And he's on a very he's been on a very feisty race so far, hasn't he? Billet has brilliant stuff, and he's just warming up those tyres, isn't he? 19 cars remain in this race. We haven't even got to half distance yet. We've already had 2 safety cars, haven't we? It's been action packed. This one has probably more action packed than the other 2 races put together from gold and silver. Goodness me, that. But I really enjoy the action packed races. I don't think any of the admins do then, because they got more work to do. But I love it. So we're just watching Velocity at the moment, and it's all goodness me. I've got a very hair and scare message there at the top of my screen there, so that's not good at all, is it? And as also my stream quality is absolutely appalling as well. Apparently, as I've lost a percentage of frames there. Oh dear. Anyway, then there's Well, you know, yeah, these stream quotas absolutely appalling now. Goodness me, I'm going to have to turn it off and turn it back on after this race. Good gosh. Right then, we're on lap 14, Olive at 36 then. Safety car should be in at the end of this lap then, and then we'll be back going in at just a few moments' time then. So as we're on board then with Velocity, we've got the safety car just in front of us. Hopefully Burnt Mylander will then just peel off and come back into the pits, and we'll be back racing once again then, as he is just warming up his tyres from left to right then. Velocity has done 13 laps on these medium tyres. Steve has done 5 laps less, and there is the safety car in Burnt Mylander is disappearing off up the road then. So now Velocity is the de facto safety car. When is he going to drop the hammer then? And of course it's going to be absolute anarchy, isn't it? So we're on board now then with Velocity as we are climbing up the hill then. Let's see when we're going to get going once again. And look at these cars there wiggling from left to right then. And here we go then. We are back racing here in Brazil then. And look at this, so Velocity has dropped the hammer. We're on board now with the AlphaTauri. Sean Hammer said he is gaining. He's had a good start, and as they put a yellow flags there just briefly, isn't it, as they come down into turn 1 then. Steve is up in the third position, so he's got past the software. I wonder if software just kind of said after you, sir, that he Steve is on the fresher tyres, but the software would probably like him to get up and go then. So now he's a rear gunner, so to speak, isn't he? Sloth is behind Red Bull then, as he's now coming down into late descent as well. And now before accelerating with Mike in 6th position, and this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it, in the next couple of laps. So I think Steve has the pace there to get up on the back. Well, I said that, I say that, but he's not really pulling away from Sloth at this stage of proceedings, is he? A much calmer restart than it was the time before, isn't it? I'm just watching Rembo at the moment, and of course she's been starting the show so far, hasn't she, Rembo? We're just watching Roscoe, and he has switched from the soft to the hard tire now until the end of the race then. So Roscoe's going to have to be careful then, as these tires are not going to give out as much grip as they were before then, as I have lost connection there to the server then, which isn't good, is it? And that's not great. And I haven't. I'm still broadcasting. Right then, so we're now then going up the hill once again then, and let's see what he can do then as well. Then as they fly past me as well, and let's have and then going once again then across the line. And 20 laps to go in this Brazilian Grand Prix. This is absolutely fantastic stuff, isn't it? I'm really enjoying this one, and they come up to the line as well. No, they come across the line now as well. So I'm distracted then to see what's occurring then with the stream, but it looks like the YouTube stream's gone down a bit. Enough, isn't it? And it's so currently red then is, oh my goodness me! And for that is Cooner, he's just completely wiped out front, and that is a safety car, and that is a oh dear, that is not good at all, is it? Oh dear, that is terrible. What's happened there, isn't it? No, sorry guys, I'm just trying to get this stream back on. And that is awful, isn't it? That's completely appalling there, isn't it? From Gunnar there. He looks like he just didn't see him, did he? And he just absolutely wiped Fran out there. So that was quite a vicious RKO, wasn't it? Goodness me. But as I've just swapped to the, Facebook stream now as well. Of course, so we've got a safety car after Gunnar completely wiped out a Billet there, which is unfortunate, isn't it? So we're just on board now then with the Alfa Romeo. Then we've got Billet in 17th position then, and we have got Smithy Almighty in 18th position then. So Fran out of the race then, safety car again, and velocity there is Sloth has left possession then, so Sloth is having Sloth unfortunately is giving up then, well, not giving up, I mean, and Artie Wee's left possession as well, and this is not good at all, is it then? On board then at the moment then is so that is a big blow into the pits. There comes up Roscoe once again, and so yeah, Fran is out of the race, and he got completely Vic Gunnar just tried to cut across the track there and absolutely demolished Fran, and he is out of the race, and Roscoe's in the pits. He's also got a 5-second penalty as well, and he is now changing the tyres there, and changing the nose cone, and he should be back out in a not too distant future then. Here he comes back out on circuit as well, but Roscoe right down the order then. Smithy D then is also just pitted as well earlier on there. Velocity is staying out. Fran is left for session then, unfortunately, then he is out of the race, and Camera Racer also out as well then. So the top so Velocity has not stopped, has he? Nor has Sean Hammers either. Everyone else, I think, has stopped up and down the field then as well. And thank you to Matthias Lang there, as he has given me I think that's a Christmas, there's a yes with a Christmas hat on there as well. That's really cool. That is lovely. Anyway, just as we're just saying, look, then is so Velocity at the moment there is behind the safety car. Once again, we've got another safety car in this race. Goodness gracious me, then it's absolutely it's chaos in this race at the moment. Absolute chaos, isn't it? We're on lap 17, 3 safety cars in this race as well. It is oh my goodness me, it's been a good one down there. I don't think it's been very good for the from the admin's point of view, but I'm loving it. Unfortunately, we've lost Sloth, and I don't think that of course one of the rules in ALR is then that if you drop out, you can't really come back in, because it causes all kinds of issues there. But I'm not sure if that was a Sloth issue, because I lost connection to the old YouTube momentarily, and I'm still fine on Facebook there, so there you go then as well. So I've got to say, it's been happening a lot more since the PlayStation 5 has come out, hasn't it? But there you go. But as we're just watching there, as the guys are coming through the centre rest as well, Velocity is putting a lot of pressure on him. I'm wondering if Velocity and Sean Hammer should have come in the pits then, but they want to go onto those soft tyres at the end, don't they? Because they want to have a pace advantage, as they are now weaving from left to right there. They're trying to warm up those tyres, aren't they? So we're on lap 18 and half distance in this race, and Gunnar is completely wiped out Fran there, as he was trying to overtake Curly Red, I think it was, and so unfortunately just didn't see the car behind him, did he? And that is why we're under a safety car at this moment in time then, as now then you're just climbing up the hill once again, and Artie Wee then is trying to get in front. Curly Red trying to get in front, because Artie Wee is also left for session as well, so those two cars then they're out of the race then, unfortunately, because of connections issues, which is such a shame. Now then, we're just on board then with Velocity at the moment. So Velocity is our race leader. He's our world champion at the moment. Well, he is the world champion for at least a season anyway. So good stuff indeed there for Velocity. But Steve is now in second position. Now he's on 6 laps younger tires, isn't he? Is he going to be able to? Get that going then? And we'll soon find out. I'm hoping the safety car's in. Yes, it is back in. Then we're half distance here in the Brazilian Grand Prix. We've had 3 safety cars already. Let's hope we don't have any more safety cars now. Let's just hope it's a sprint race to the end of this Grand Prix then. And so we've got 18 more laps to go then. We're on board with Velocity. Look at these drivers then queuing up as well then. We're about to get racing in just a few moments time as well then. Here we go then, and we're back racing here in Brazil then. Velocity leads Steve in second position now. Sean Hammers is quite close to the back of Steve, isn't he? On board at the moment, but he's a bit too far back. Rempo then needs to get by Sloth, and Sloth is not in this race, is he? Oh goodness me, and look, Mike is on the inside of Rempo. Mike is on the inside there. He's dived out the inside, passes Rempo, and he is having the full position. Good opportunity to stick manoeuvre there from Mike then. On board with Rempo though. These two are on the same quality of tyres, aren't they? They're coming down the hill now then. Rempo side by side with Mike. Rempo has passed Mike, and that was and Mike unfortunately got the pass done in turn 1. By turn 4 it was all done and dusted. Hammers is the Cummings is the highest man there on the hard tyres. He is going to the end of the race, and he is looking very strong at this stage of proceedings, isn't he? All the drivers in front on the medium tyres have done at least 12 laps, maybe more than. As now Roscoe's got past. Roscoe's got 3 second penalty for getting past the McLaren as well. We're down to 16 drivers, and RDB's out of the race. Sloth is also out of the race as well. And Cummings are getting a bit get on the grass there, but he's run wide then. And luckily Smithy D was too far behind there to not pounce, and Nunda's back up into 6th position. Incredible driving there from Nunda. Very, very impressive stuff there. Not to give up there from Nunda. On board now as Mike is trying to defend that as he is going on the inside. He's shown Nunda where he wants to go there, but look at this. Nunda's going to go into turn 1 then. Rempo's having a look up the inside of Sean Hammers as well. Nothing doing just yet then. Roscoe's got past Gunnar. Gunnar is dropped down into 14th position then. Roscoe in the 30th position. Curly Red is now in 12th position. And just watching Bradfield, who's having a look on the inside then as well. Nunda's trying to go on the outside then. Mike though is of course that's a very difficult place to pass on the outside into turn 4 and 5, isn't it? And now we're building up the hill once again, and lovely stuff indeed then from all these drivers at the moment. And of course it's been a very difficult race, hasn't it, because of all the shenanigans that have gone on here. 3 safety cars, which is completely against what I was expecting. I think we only had 1 safety car in the last 2 races, so absolutely incredible stuff at the moment. Really good stuff indeed there. Serge Rush saying Gunnar's a beast, saying what's got Formula Moments. What happened with the first live stream then? Hashtag the PS5 broke it. Oh wow. Keeping behind him, Michael. Come on, Rempo as well. Don't say her name. It's a Rempo at the moment, and it's currently very close to the back of Hammers. Having full squad. Steve then going for his first win at the moment, and an ALR gold then. Bronze I should say then. And Rempo's up the inside, passes Sean Hammers, saying good stuff indeed there. Rempo up the inside, passes the AlphaTauri, and now she's on the podium. She's never been on the podium before then. This is looking very strong then for Rempo. She is open. She's now going to have to defend though, isn't she? Because Sean Hammers is coming back. ALR going down the hill then, and Sean Hammers is through. Is Rempo going to have a look on the inside? Not quite then. Sean Hammers was coming through like a train there, wasn't he? Goodness me. That is not good for Rempo, because now she has to follow him all the way through the twisty parts of the race course. So that's not good, is it, for Rempo's point of view then? And now then the gap is up to 2 seconds there. There's Mike in the foreground, in the background now. I've been giving Mike been saying about Mike that just hasn't had the pace around here, but I'm not sure if he's had the out and out pace, but he definitely has the race pace, doesn't he? Goodness me, he's in 5th position now. I think I'm selling Mike a bit short in this race tonight because he's doing an absolutely fine job, isn't he, in 5th position now. Good stuff indeed there from Mike, and I think that we haven't seen this form from Mike in a long time, so it's great to see him really back up in there as well. Remember the first half of the season he was in the top 3 or 4 for more often than not, wasn't he? Unfortunately he has a bit of dip in at form, hasn't he? Velocity then is keeping Steve at arm's width at the moment, which is exactly what he needs to do. Rempo, but I don't think Sean Hammers is doing the same for Rempo, because Rempo is up the inside. Look at Nunda. Nunda's on the outside as well. Mike then is keeping the door firmly shut then on Nunda's toes then, isn't he? But Nunda's going to have DRS down this back straight as well. And look at this, and Nunda's looking very lively, isn't he? Look at this, and he's having a look there. Is he going to go on the inside there? He's almost slipped through. Oh my goodness me, what was Nunda doing there? And oh gosh, there, and he's gone very wide there. He almost lost there. He's weaving this way and that way. I wonder if he just got slightly sidetracked then. The rain has not come yet, but look at that cloud there coming over the starring grid up there. Oh, goodness me, then this is going to get very interesting indeed, isn't it? Oh, gosh, then. Oh, goodness me. Yeah, as I say, it's gone very gloomy, hasn't it? Remember, Nunda said that there is rain at the end of this race, and I'm wondering then if the rain's going to have to come down in quite steroids then, if they want to, in major steroids then. Look at Nunda, he's got the inside into Junkau then, and of course you need also a lot of help there from the driver in front then. Steve is less than 3/10 of a second away at the moment, but Velocity's doing a great job there of harvesting, isn't he? Velocity is absolutely amazing at these hybrid cars. Isn't he doing a great job there? See, it's just there, straight, but it's not long enough, was it? Oh, did Nuna get a bump up the rear there from oh, goodness me, I know this then, and now Nuna Cummings has passed Nuna, and up in some position there, Nuna felt like he went straight on there, so I wonder if he had a helping on there from Cummings. I'm not sure, it just felt like he just went straight on then, as coming down the hill as well there. So Nunda dropped down to 7th position at this moment in time there. Look at those clouds, and they're rolling in quite quickly now, aren't they? So yes, we might be having some rain as well, and this is an extra spanner in the works, and that is why Velocity and Hammers have stayed out, I think. It's because of the rain, isn't it? And of course we've been talking about it, and I completely forgot that. So yes, it's got very dark very quickly in this race, hasn't it? Goodness gracious me then. And yeah, from the moment saying Nunda got it in the back, yes, it felt like it, didn't it, when he was on board of him. Nunda is very much and look at coming. Oh, goodness me! And there's Mike there. I think he got squirrely there into the dive as well. But look at this, and Mike is struggling for performance. And Smithy D is over the 7th position there. He's had a great run of form at the moment. Smithy D is Cummings needs to get by down this back straight. Look at this though, and Smithy D is on the inside. Oh, goodness me! Oh my goodness me! And we felt it, didn't we? There's a crash on the straight. There's a safety car. Smithy D is out of the race there. Oh, goodness me. And oh gosh, they're in a safety car again. So the rain, it looks like, I'm not sure if the rain is coming or what, but 4 safety, I think that's 4 safety cars at this race, and my goodness gracious me then. And oh gosh, that. And just on board now, Velocity's done 23 laps on those medium tires. He's doing a great job, Velocity, is it? Now from the 20th on the grid there to lead this race, with Rembo in 3rd position, Steve in 2nd position, and then Hammers in 4th. Mike is in 5th position now. Is just taking a look. Mike got damage because he's really struggling at the moment, then, hasn't he? He has damage, yeah. So Mike is, that's why he's struggling. Mike has got damage. And Nunda in 6th position, Diashi is 7th, Bradfield is 8th, Ayrton in 9th position, 10th position is Roscoe, Curly in 11th position, Cummings in 12th, Berlin 13th, Gunnar in 14th, Smithy Almighty in 15th, the Sloth in Roddy Weir is out the race, so is Smithy D as well then. I'd like to hear your opinions on that incident there, guys, because goodness me, that was quite a frightening one, wasn't it? So what's Velocity going to do then? Because he's coming into puncture territory now, isn't he? Remember that those hard tires was very close to, well, of course, he's really extending this stint, isn't he, on these medium tires. Velocity is there. He's going into unknown territory now. I think both him and Sean Hammers are. They are waiting for the rain to come there. It's got very gloomy, hasn't it, over the Brazilian Grand Prix? I know this is going to get very interesting. We're just waiting to catch up to behind the safety car. Is anyone coming in the pits? No one is coming in the pits saying, so Jeff is probably saying on the radio now, that the rain is near. It is coming, I think the rain is. It's gone very dark and we're looking up in the skies as well. When is the rain going to get here? And Artie Whedon is well, he's out of the race, isn't he? So Swift D is on these soft tires, and that might help him in this race as well then. So Rembo did well to stay for the traffic. I think she should have stayed out there. Cummings did Cummings cause that Velocity is going to get a puncture for Fauchard. He's done 24 laps, hasn't he? So is Sean Hammers as well. They are in I think they are in puncture territory now, aren't they? Velocity's going to have to really very much become a twinkle toes, isn't he? Really, and make sure that he just massages those tires, isn't he? He's very much dangerously in puncture territory, isn't it? On board then with Velocity at the moment as we're just looking back from his car, and there is Steve. And Steve then is just, I think he's, I wonder if he's trying to gesture to for Velocity to get a move on, so to speak, at the stage proceedings coming out of Young Cow as well. And hopefully it'll be a short safety car then, as we're just waiting for the two Redders who are not in the race, unfortunately, but go wait for them to catch up, don't we? 15 cars are left behind. Camera Racers out of the race then. Also out is Fran. We've lost Smithy D as well. A horrific incident there into the barrier just there when him and Cummings were side by side. And unfortunately, they came to blows, didn't they? And that is a shame. Now we got the green lights on the safety car there. So that's not good at all, as if Smithy, RDW and Sloth has also lost connection as well. Cummings is in the pits then. He's also got a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. Cummings has said as he's on the 13 lap old hard tyres. Let's see then. He's on those intermediate tyres, and so Cummings the rain is so close, and he's doing a Kimi Raikkonen. Remember that Raikkonen went onto the 4 wet tyres in Malaysia 2009 before the rain even got here. So we've also got Smithy there also on these soft tyres there. So Smithy don't think the rain's going to come in time, whilst Cummings has thrown it all against the wall there on those intermediate tyres. It's raining then, so the guys that have stayed out there, this is absolutely beautiful velocity, isn't it? Oh, absolutely amazing stuff as well. And just on board as well, Sebastian said, I think he's just asking, is that rain? It is rain, isn't it? oh goodness me, look at those raindrops then, and I think this is going to be a deluge as well. Is it going to rain hard enough for those intermediate tyres? Cummings there has really thrown a curveball on here then. I reckon Cummings might be onto something here, and this could be an almighty strategy cowboy here for Cummings. He's got a 5-second penalty though for speeding in the pit. But so I'm swallowing my tongue there. But goodness me. Velocity's gonna hope this rain has to absolutely bucket it down there. Of course, there's been a lot more safety cars in this race than last night, so that might be helping him in terms of getting those medium tyres going then. But that is a lot of rain in a short space of time, and we hadn't even completed a lap then before the rain came down. Oh my word! Then this is going to get very good. 72 laps and pit for Inters. It still looks too dry. Yeah, Cummings is on the intermediate tyres, and I think it is going to be 2 laps, isn't it? Is anyone going to come in the pits there or on board? Then Velocity is coming in the pits. They're all coming in the pits then, and Mike is staying out then. So yes, it's raining quite heavily here in Brazil, and into the pits there. Nunez stays out, so does Curly Red as well. It is look at Cummings there. He is flying up the order now, isn't he? And he is in the box seat set. Let's see what Cummings does then. And I think that's it. I reckon he's timed it to perfection. Cummings is absolutely amazing stuff. Yellow flag there. Yellow flag. Mike has had a problem there. I think he has dropped down the order. And look at this. He's gingerly trying to go. Look at that. Look at the intermediate shot there. Red Bull. He is coming up right behind as well. Oh, Cummings then. And look at this. And he's getting through the. Yes, it's 1 lap too long. Nunda, Kearney, and Mike has stayed out for too long. Cummings leads the Brazilian Grand Prix. Oh my word. This is absolutely amazing stuff, Ben. From the moment saying it's still too early to pit, I think it'll end now because look at the rain, look at the spray coming off of the tyres. The intermediate tyres are working to perfection here. Oh my goodness me. And Cummings leads the Brazilian Grand Prix. Absolutely amazing stuff. Velocity is up in 2-second position then. Good stuff indeed there for Velocity there. From the moment saying, come on, Rempo Diaz, he's got a 3-second penalty. Look at that rain. It is definitely Brazilian rain, isn't it? It's a deluge in town, isn't it? Oh goodness me then. Oh, I'm in absolute shock at this race. Incredible stuff indeed. There is on board then with Steve, who is having his best race so far in ALR once again then, doing a great job. But look at how far Cummings is up the road then. He's already passing the start-finish straight. He is, I got to say, that is an absolutely stupendous call there from Cummings. Pits for Kununda, for Mike and Curly, and they've really suffered for not coming in the pits, and they all dived in the pits, didn't they? And look at this, and what is the gap then between Velocity and Cummings? Cummings is already halfway down the back straight. It's 12 seconds there. Remember though that Cummings does have a penalty. Oh, it's 11 seconds worth of penalty. So Velocity is still in the box seats, isn't he? Good stuff indeed there. But look at this. Stino is going to be fighting, isn't he, on the back of Velocity. And so Velocity then is currently now he is about 1.2. He's 1.5 seconds away from taking the lead of this Grand Prix. And Stino would like to get past, and he's going to be fighting, isn't he, all the way in that Ferrari. Rembo in fourth position then. We've also got Gunnar getting past. Gunnar's just outside the points at the moment there. The guys that have pitted later on in this race then. Nunda in 13th position there. Curly in 14th. Sloth in 5th. And Mike in 50th position there. Sloth is out of the race, unfortunately, along with RDW as well. Incredible race this one's been on there. Absolutely fantastic. full moment saying, blimey, look how wet it is now. My message was delayed. Yeah, I gotta say, it's absolutely delicate down. We might be on the wet tires if we're not careful. This is going to get very interesting. Then Cummings has got a 12.4 second lead, but in reality it is actually only a 1.2 second lead then, so because he has 11 seconds worth of penalty there for Cummings. That 5-second penalty is going to cost him the race winning, I think, for Cummings. What a shame. And now we've been in the first Grand Prix win as well. Ayrton's up into 6th. Where did he come from? Incredible stuff. Billet is over to 8th position as well. Diashi up to 9th then. There's been some amazing drives out here tonight on there. Brilliant stuff indeed then. And now look at this, no DRS, and it's too wet for the DRS now, isn't it? These guys have found their feet on these tyres, haven't they? And then now starting to reel in Cummings. Cummings has only got 9/10 for a second, a gap over Velocity. Velocity is struggling though, because Steve is absolutely flying on the intermediate tyres. There's Rembo in 4th position then, and she is also on the cusp as well of getting her first podium. And Diashi is gone off the track there, hasn't he? Because Bradfield is just stuck up the inside, and he is in at 9th position. And Bradfield's next target is the Hungarian driver Billet, and he hasn't scored a point in his ALR career so far. He's on the cusp, isn't he? Ayrton in 6th position as well, looking brilliant for Ayrton. Velocity is struggling, isn't he? He is really struggling now, isn't he? And that's Williamson. So can Steve and Rembo take advantage? And Sean Hammers is also on an absolute stellar drive as well. Brilliant stuff, Ben. But I think that Velocity is quick where it needs to be, and that is up this straight, isn't it? And on the back straight as well, where the two former DRS signs, former DRS zones were that. Curler is now back in 12th position. Gunners dropped down to 13th position then. So yes, Velocity is quick where he needs to be quick then. Cummings has got it back up to 12.2 seconds then. So now it's going to be yo-yoing around. We've got 7 laps to go in this race. I have no earthly idea who's going to win this race, who's going to be on the podium or what. Absolutely brilliant stuff at the moment now, isn't there? On board with Steve. He is 5/10 seconds away then from his first Grand Prix win. There are thereabouts, along with Cummings and Rembo as well. Sean Hammers has had a Grand Prix win before in his career, hasn't he? But he'd love to have a second one here tonight, won't he? It is all up in the air. This has been action-packed, hasn't it? What way to finish off this incredible season of Bronze Season 2, then the longest season in Bronze history with 21 races. Of course, we missed Vietnam, then hopefully, and it might be on the calendar next season, but who knows? Cummings then is Diash's got a 3-second penalty. Nunez back up to 11th position as well then, and he is very quick at the moment. Nunez actually, as he's trying to go up the inside then, he needs to get as many points as possible. Then he breaks up the inside. Nunez then is up into 10th position, and he's got a point now. Can he get anything else out of this? Look at Billet then, he is just in front of us at the moment, and there's Bradfield as well. Look how slippery it is, getting very does want to go on that accelerator frosted too heavily, do they? Otherwise they'll be spinning around then. A bit like Kylie Moore. So Billet then is going to be the cork in this bottle, so to speak. At the moment, look at how heavy this rain is. Goodness me, then. I've got to say that now. I think if this was halfway through the race, I think that some people might be a bit concerned about going on to the wet tyres, because the track is absolutely saturated in the last couple of laps or so. Sorry. Oh gosh. And now coming down into turn 1 once again then, and you can see then here sees a train of cars, and brilliant stuff indeed then as we accelerate out. And Curly Ray has got a 3-second time penalty as well then, and now is Bradfield there. Look at this then as they're coming down into late descent once again then. Noon to Hamner look then, but Bradfield is not going to be flying off the course, is he? Billet hasn't got any penalties either here, so he does have the advantage as well. So Billet just needs to keep it cool and keep it calm then, and he will get some good points there for the McLaren team. His teammate Mike is at the moment way down in 14th position now, with also that wing change as well. It's such a shame then. You're just now watching Nunda then he's pushing him out, isn't he, out of the pine tree as well. Of course Bradfield there, he's gone wide though, hasn't he? Smithy D has left the session, and where Smithy D is of course he was the one who got quite dramatically went to the wall quite dramatically, didn't he? Which was quite it was quite a horrific stunt, wasn't it? Accelerating now then. Nunda now is looking very much on his toes now. As Rembo is looking also very dangerous behind Smithy, behind Steve as well. On board then is Nunda's on the outside end, so Bradfield is going to be on the inside, so we go into turn 1 then as well. And Nunda takes on finish as well. He's got to have a lunge. Oh, he's gone to the Hungarian driver, and he smashed him out of the way. Oh no, and that is not good there. And Billet Bullet there, who was on course for his first point of his career, and Nunez, I think he just overstepped the mark there, didn't he? And he's gone straight into the McLaren there. What a shame there. It's very much Kimi Raikkonen and Adrian Sutil-esque from Monaco, isn't it? And what a shame there for Bullet. Oh goodness me, he's judged the strategy to perfection, and that is cruel luck, isn't it, for the McLaren driver? Unfortunately, that's what you get. That is the sport, isn't it? Oh goodness me! Then we just got Sebastian saying he said has he still got 11 seconds worth of penalty? Yes, he has said, and yes, Cummings does have 11 seconds worth of penalty then, so he's 7/10 a second in front at the moment then. And just take a look as well. Then Bradfield's got damage as well then. So there's so Bradfield there has also got damage on the front wing then. Just take a look. Nunez also got damage in the Williams then, and look at Ayrton now. He's going to be very much concerned then on the back foot then. It's 6/10 a second between Velocity and Cummings. And Cummings is 3 laps from home then, from a famous victory then. He rolled the dice then. He won on the intermediate tyres when the track was almost bone dry then, and he came in the pits at exactly the right time. Now he called it to perfection, didn't he? And he is now 9/10 a second away from Velocity. Velocity is losing a lot of time down the straight then, so he must have a higher downforce there on that Williams perhaps then. Diashi saying ridiculous, and Formula Moments, Rempo no, and Serious Russian mode, dear Nunda. So I think that was a bit of a miscalculation there from Nunda's point of view. And look at this, that is Roscoe's up into 6th position as well as we've got to Diashi then, who is cruising back to the pits there. So Diashi there on the 4 wet tyres there, and that's a shame there for Diashi there. So not as he's just recovering, he's only just come in the pits, hasn't he? So Diashi there is going to be very disappointed there. He's coming in the pits and Cummings is leading this race at the moment. And I think Steve is now starting to drop back slightly, isn't he? Diashi out of the race, and we're down to 14 cars and in this Brazilian Grand Prix. Ayrton in 7th position at the moment. Then Nunda is good. Oh my goodness me! And Red Bull there, good, and almost doing a Max Verstappen-esque there, wasn't she? I think she might have been staring at the wall for a second or two there. And we look at this. She's got oh my word! Then Bradfield has gone wide. Now he's fighting there with that broken front wing there, and Velocity has got a 3-second penalty. That is a huge moment in this race. It's a huge moment in this race then as well. Then Steve might be up to second then. So Curly is now up and past Bradfield then. So Bradfield trying to have a go down on the inside, but that's not the case. Is it? Yellow flags there. It's Diashi's car is just recovered at the moment. That 34 out of 36 then. So Velocity has now got it. So we've got a minus 11 seconds off, and this feels like Japan 94. I mentioned it in qualifying. Now we're going to have to get out the Oda stopwatch, haven't we? Now, goodness me, then. I thought I was able to put the calculator away, but that's it's got yellow flags there down in the bottom end of the circuit. Well, Cummings there is dropped back slightly on this lap, hasn't he? So at the moment, Velocity is going to finish third then, because Rempo's also got a 3-second penalty as well, if I'm not very much mistaken then. Rempo is very close to the first podium. Sean Hammers there is too far back at the moment then, to do anything, so this is going to be very interesting indeed. Then on board with Sloth at the moment. He is not in the race anymore, is he? Bullet there is trying to hang it out. Then I feel so sorry for Bullet. I really do then, because I think he's drove a magnificent race along with Ayrton as well. Two drivers are on the back foot there, and they did a really good job there coming through the field on those intermediate tyres. Lovely stuff indeed. Then there's going to be it's a story. That's the problem about racing, isn't it? There's always some twists and turns, isn't there, in Formula 1? And there's so many twists and turns, I'm absolutely struggling to speak now as well. Luckily, it's the end of the season, and of course, we've got one more round to go after this event, and of course, that is gold there for Abu Dhabi. And look at this, and as Velocity is now within the 11 seconds, but he needs to get it down to 8, if I'm not very much mistaken. Then that is a big ask to do for Velocity, then, but we're going to keep an eye on the times, haven't we? The rain is bucketing it down here in Brazil as well. Rempo is now within a second now. She has a 3-second penalty, so at the moment she will not finish third position at the moment. That's such a shame for Rempo. She's so close yet so far for her first podium. Ayrton doesn't have any penalties either. He could jump in front of Roscoe perhaps, and for 6th position there. Good performance for Ayrton as well. Then Billet in 11th position there. Gunnar in 12th position. Mike was of course in the top 10 more often than not, and unfortunately just hasn't proved to be right then. And now then we're on board then with Cummings then. He is he's on the cusp then to potentially win his first Grand Prix then. And look at this then, it's down to 10 seconds, but Velocity does have a penalty, doesn't he? The man who's at the back of the field then. And of course he has flown it through, hasn't he? And he's now in at second position then. Good stuff indeed there for Velocity, but Cummings is leading this race at the moment, isn't he? And now then he has got one more lap, that is one more lap away from home. And what a performance there from Cummings. I got to say that is the strategical call of the season, isn't it? Maybe even at the centre as well, perhaps, and he was down in 18th position, I think, when he made that call, and now he leads the Brazilian Grand Prix. He's got 10 seconds, he has 11-second penalty, but Velocity has a 3-second penalty as well, and we're on board with Cummings. Velocity is shook it off Steve now, and he is really starting to put the hammer down, hasn't he? Now Cummings is coming into the young cow then for the 36 last time. It's down to 9 seconds there. I think that's the magical number, if I'm not very much mistaken, as well, as we accelerate away then. And Cummings has all got to do that. It's just got to put his foot to the floor as well. Look at the overtake he's using that. And Cummings will cross the line first. Cummings wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. He has a 5-second penalty, of course, then. So then it's a bit like the Japanese Grand Prix. You have to hold tight then. What has Velocity done? The gap is 10.3 seconds. And what is it? It is 2.3 seconds. Stee is 6/10 of a second away from winning his first Grand Prix. Stee in second. Velocity in third. Rembo, what a drive in fourth position. Sean Hammers in fifth then. Roscoe is in sixth position. He has dropped Ayrton. I think that Ayrton is struggling there. But Roscoe, that looks like that's a few penalties. Ayrton's in sixth there. Roscoe is seventh then. Nunda is going to come through in seventh position there. So Nunda there is might salvage a couple of positions there with seventh position there. Roscoe coming. Oh no! And Belair's coming through in 10th finish there. Belair's going to get his first points there. Bradfield is cruising to the end, then Belair does get his first point, and it could have been more. But 10th finish there on the card says, I think he'll be happy with that then. Smithy in at 30th position there, Mike in 14th as well then. But Cummings there wins his first Grand Prix as well, and what a performance there for Cummings. What a strategical call. Oh, that was absolutely sensational there from Cummings there. That was the call of the century, surely. Really is indeed that. Absolutely amazing stuff. But Steve was only 6/10 of a second away. We was all focused on Velocity, but it was Steve who we should have been focused on. But Cummings there, he was 18th, wasn't he, when that safety car came out? What a strategical call. He put on the intermediate tyres when there's still a dry track, and he wins the Brazilian Grand Prix. Well done to Cummings there. Of course, since his debut in Belgium now, he has looked like a very strong driver, and I think that is very much congratulations to Cummings there. We had Rembo for the first pole position of her career, but it's Cummings with his first race win of his career as well. And I think that's Steve's first podium for Ferrari. It is indeed as well. So Steve also getting his first podium as well today. Absolutely fantastic stuff. And Velocity from the back of the grid up into third position as well then. Brilliant stuff indeed then. What a race then. Absolutely amazing stuff then. Ooh. Let's take a final look at the classification from that epic Brazilian Grand Prix. What an end to that. That was amazing, wasn't it? Cummings there. What a strategical call. Absolutely, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely loving that. Brilliant 17th then. Sometimes it's not about speed. It's also about strategical calls as well. He won the race there. Cummings did absolutely fantastic. Steve in second position, 6/10 of a second away in a second there. Velocity in third from 20th on the grid. Rembo in fourth position. Sean Hammers in fifth. Ayrton in sixth position. Nunda 7th. 8th position was Roscoe. Curley in ninth position. Ballet on his getting his first point of his career in 10th. Well done to Billet there. 11th position there is Guna just outside the points. Bradfield in 12th for Tord home. 13th was Smithy. 14th was Mike. Retirements was Artie Wee, Sloth, Diashi, Smithy D, Fran and Camera Racer all retired from this epic Brazilian Grand Prix. Apologies about the stream tonight, guys. I'm not really sure why we keep disconnected at the moment, and so I think that's going to have to. I might have to give it an old Google or something like that, but or maybe we're going to have to find a different way of streaming, perhaps, Ed. But yeah, it's a bit annoying at the moment there, as we're keeping having to sew the streams together, which is not exactly ideal, is it? But anyway, yes, we're just waiting for the driver interviews as well. Let me quickly get me settings up right, and I think that I'm also almost out of battery as well, so we might have to make it pronto, my good man, and women as well, who's of course watching out there as well. Right then, as we're just now waiting for the drivers to come in here as well. I'm hoping to talk to Dave. I'm hoping to talk to Cummings and Steve as well, because I cannot. It's be the first time I spoke to him this season as well, and it's great, isn't it? Really is indeed. Then. No one's coming in at the moment, so I keep an eye. Of course, we're on one more week of ALR then before we call it a day for 2020. Been a very difficult year, hasn't it? Been a very difficult year in terms of all what's been going on last night. But one more race to go in bronze, silver, and gold. Of course, then we go to Abu Dhabi, don't we? In a week's time, then for gold. Then all the championships have been wrapped up in gold. There, drivers done, constructors done. Of course, Renault the constructors, Emerson's the drivers. Silver, of course, the Haas team have won it, but so close yet so far for Gurman, who was second, who was almost so close to win the championship, but he didn't. He managed to do it in Abu Dhabi. And the final, and of course then bronze as well, which Velocity has won. Both drivers and the constructors as well. He's joined me in the gantry as well. Velocity, a good drive today then. Of course, we've seen you do the donuts then, but I assumed that you knew about the rain there, and that's why you was hanging it out there.
Yeah, ideally the race was meant to finish before the rain had come, so I would have pitted onto the softs and had the pace on absolutely everyone, but an absolute shambles of, 10 laps or so, couldn't do anything. Couldn't break enough space to go into the pits for the softs, and you couldn't, do anything. The inters, really, maybe, but I don't know.
Well, I got to say, you got third today, though. That's another podium to your record. You're now on 15 as well. Absolutely fantastic stuff, indeed. Then, going on to Abu Dhabi, how are you feeling then for the final race of the season? There, you going to put on another show?
I'll try. It's not one of my favourite tracks, but it seems like I'm a magnet to these podiums, so I'll somehow weasel my way up to P3, I reckon.
Brilliant stuff indeed. Then I don't think anyone else is joining us for the for the podium interview tonight, then, which is such a shame. Then we're going to leave it there, folks. Then I hope you all enjoyed. Then I got to go back to work. Then so luckily this is finished early for me. See you next week then for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Goodbye.